5 guys, 4 countries, 3 continents, 2 hours, and 1 great fucking time. It's 3 the hard way.
Morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Good night.
Hey, hi there, guys.
So I feel like the next video is false advertising now because Big T's not on yet.
No, because he's not. He'll be on in a second.
That's a funky intro. I like that.
Oh yeah, good.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, for some reason, I couldn't hear it.
Oh,
I could see it, I couldn't hear it. But that's probably my end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like it. I've seen it before. I do like it.
Yeah, Joey actually put time into that. So, good job.
So
Well done, Joe.
I know, Josh, you're working off a heavy night of drinking last night, correct? And
I'm so sweaty. I'm sweating bullets.
I'm not sure if anyone else is drinking, but Stephen and I are drinking. It's 7 a.m. here for us, and we're drinking Brass Monkey, so beer, orange juice. Yeah, cheers.
And bitters for you.
And bitters, yeah.
Cheers, guys. After 12 here, so it's hard for me.
Yeah, it's
all right.
7 is that's a hearty breakfast.
I had a bowl of Raisin Bran. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
There's Big T.
Got us, man.
That look is concerning. That's a concerning look.
We're gonna leave him there and just let him be sad.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he'll be here eventually.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Nerves. It's all nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on the big show now.
Playing with the big boys.
Big leagues.
Obviously, he can't hear us. Yeah.
So right now is the time to talk all the shit we want to talk because we have to pretend like he's
right. So it's like this. Big T, if you used to give massages to men, just sit there and say nothing at all.
I love that. So you know that if you heard that, he'd be bouncing around the room right now.
He's gonna watch it. He's gonna watch it back.
Yeah, he'll watch it back.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we already have more views than we do on a Saturday night. So, but I feel like we've talked about this before. Like I feel like Saturday night's the most convenient for us, but it's probably a really terrible night to live stream for the most part. Because everybody's like, "Fuck," watching those assholes.
Especially starting at 8 when everybody's getting ready to go out. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. I guess the hope is that most of the people that watch us are close to our age, and so they're not going out. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, guys, how's it been going? It's been. I talk to André regularly, but Josh, we hadn't talked to you in a while. So
Yeah. Just had a bit of life happen. So just laying low, doing Australian things.
Australian things. What is
he accepted Jesus as his Lord and Savior.
That's the word of the good Lord. Have you guys heard about Jesus? He's
only rumors, man. Only rumors.
It's going to be a deeply religious show now.
Yeah, I heard the dude is hung like this, man.
Yeah, nothing but the gospel, brother. Nothing but the gospel.
Big T, we got you now, brother.
He's smiling like he's
smiling.
hearing this, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I can hear you now. I was just enjoying this.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Is
right.
it okay? Someone told me I sound echoey. Is that true, or do I sound okay?
You sound like you're sitting in a room.
No, you sound a little bit like you're on like a speaker or like a phone mic.
Can you hear this?
Oh, that guy's not hot at all.
No.
You can't hear the tapping?
No,
Nope.
we can't. So if you have another microphone in the room that's turned on, that's probably what's picking you up.
Okay.
Or speaker.
Yeah,
Or
or
computer
your
speakers, yeah.
computer speaker.
All right,
microphone.
you guys keep
Anyway,
talking, I'll be back.
all
It's
right.
like,
God damn it, Andre.
like how many podcasts? I remember like even all the podcasts that I've done, and I cocked it up every fucking time. Every single time I'd set it up, I'd fucking leave something out. I'd completely forget to like connect something every fucking one, and it was you'd think you get it,
Yeah,
but you
No,
don't.
I consistently forget to hit record on the fucking show.
Yeah. So, which is a good thing that we record the video because you can pull the audio from it, but
Yeah.
still, it's just not as good. So,
It's
anyway.
not the same. Hold on, I
So
gotta
we're
close my-
fucking professionals here, man. Oh god damn it! Now Josh is gone.
Hey, we can't hear you.
I got him.
You got it. Never mind. We can hear you. We just couldn't hear you a lot, but we got you. Yeah.
There we go.
What was that you were saying now, T?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. I was saying sometimes technology just wants to fuck with you, you know? It did with me this morning. I was like, what did I do to you? We were cool 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear the tap though? Can you hear that?
Yeah,
Look at
Yeah, we
that.
got you.
That silky smooth voice of Andre.
We got you.
All
There
right.
he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. All right.
Really working that tap
We
in.
had you the first 2 seconds you were tapping. God damn it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So
So first off, I want to air some grievances
okay,
this morning.
there's some grievances.
Yeah, I want to know why
Already?
Andre had me on his new show.
That can be arranged, but it'll mean exercising some self-control with the language.
That's what I say. That means I need to pretend like I'm someone else for the entire.
No, you just need to hold up on the swearing and stuff. Do you think that's something you could do?
Yeah, I have kids. I don't cuss around my kids
Ah.
at all,
Okay.
or my family back home. Well, my dad, but not my mom.
Okay.
My mom does
That's a start.
love
That's a
Jesus.
start.
She gets upset if I cuss.
Yeah.
So
All right, we'll have to get your mom on the program as well, then, just to keep things safe.
Just to make sure.
you do not want my mom on a podcast.
Okay.
She'll start taking her clothes off. It gets really uncomfortable for. No,
That'll be one of his best watched ones. It'll be highest rated.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we put the keyword MILF in there.
Yeah, that's right. Dinner and the show. Love it.
Oh god.
Title of that
How the
show would
podcast-
be B3F gets weird.
Yeah, that's right. B3F stays the same because it's always fucking weird. It's always a time. How the podcast been going, boys?
Well, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a slow yet somewhat steady growth.
Yeah,
but
weirdly enough, so the downloads and shit, they they go up a little bit, but our live stuff's gotten better.
Yeah,
So,
that's the
Yeah.
thing.
yeah. How about you, Josh? When you gonna start picking up the mantle again here?
Yeah, I think in about maybe another month, I'll start getting back onto them. Maybe not as like aggressively as I was doing them before. Like I was doing like maybe 6 a week or 5 a week.
Oh, what? That'll burn you out, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, it was fucking draining.
You are Joe Rogan. Come on.
Yeah, I was bored, just sitting at home. It's like lockdown here. I was like,
You never said the N word.
not yet. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry. No.
Oh God.
How did
So
that,
just wait on. Do we need to get back on that?
yeah.
No, we do not, sir.
How's that gone down in like where you guys are? Like obviously, like what we don't get fuck all here. Everybody hates Joe Rogan in Australia.
Really? That's strange.
Yeah, like I don't think people here understand the fact that, like the man, like he's been hit in the head a lot. Like he's a UFC commentator. Like he's not like the he's not peak news. Like don't listen to it.
Sure.
But here they take it like ultra serious and like this man is out there and you're like he's a fucking idiot with a platform, right? Like I like Joe Rogan. I listen to it. I think it's great. Like he has some pretty good guests, but it's like it didn't really grab here. Like there was no
Yeah, I think for a lot of it is for a lot of like dudes, he's like a quintessential alpha male, and And in his interview, and that he's just unabashedly, he doesn't give any shits for the most part. And I think for a lot of,
he's a lot like us. He'll talk about anything.
Jesus, don't even start that shit. God damn it. No, I'll listen to some of his shit if he's got a guest. I want to I'm interested in the interview, but usually then it's like a YouTube clip of like maybe 15 minutes, and then I'm good with that. But I think there's a lot of, because not necessarily here in the South, but I think in the US there are certain groups that there's a lot of pushback for just inherently for like any type of PC shit, like over the top pushback, just because you can't take away my freedom of speech, God damn it. And I think that increases popularity for people like that, right? Because it feels like he's got a platform and he's not the typical liberal celebrity, and he pushes back against the norm. There's a lot of that mindset, I think.
So I'm assuming that's Joe Rogan. I don't know him very well over here, but he's not the UFC guy, is he?
He does a commentary.
He's a commentator.
All right. No, and he's got a podcast as well, yeah?
What's that?
What was that?
And he's got a podcast as well.
Yeah, a little one.
Yeah, it's the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
All right. So has he said something controversial or something?
He said the N-word.
Sorry?
Well, years and years ago.
The N-word.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So it was in context. I think he was telling a story about Charlie Murphy. And he said it verbatim, essentially. Like
he did a verbatim.
He was
quote,
quoting someone, and he's also talked about the word and like how it's such a strange word that has that much power. And so, in the US, you're not allowed to say the word, quote the word, or anything like
that's
that.
Worldwide for the most part.
So then that means T, you should be stepping in on this one.
Yeah.
So what happened was somebody put together a compilation of him saying it over the years. I think prior to like 2008, and the video came out, and it was a big uproar. But in the comedy community and people who follow the show, they knew about this, and it was not really overseen. It just wasn't big because this platform hadn't grown as big as it is now. So it really hit the comedy community because they calling him ignorant more than racist, of him not understanding the power of that word and how it can affect people. And what social media is now, it's spread like wildfire through the Black community, and it's been a big uproar ever since. So he's more ignorant than racist, in my opinion, to that. And he trying to make that clear isn't done through just words, it's done through actions,
Yeah, and he released the video like right after that came out. He released a video talking about, how regretful it is and how ignorant he was at the power of the word, even in just conversation, quoting and things like that. And he's got a lot of support from people. He's got, it's unfortunately in the US, the idiots on both sides of the political or social aisle are the loudest. The idiots screaming, "You can't take away my free speech," and then the idiots screaming, "You're not allowed to say anything that we don't agree to." Those are the loud ones, and the rest of the sort of clear thinking people in the US tend to just go about their business and we don't speak out really. So
it was such a I don't know, like in a man in that position on like, obviously his podcast has been huge for a long time, and it wasn't that long ago, right?
Yeah.
So should he have known better then?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Not knowing better. Like the word is like you just don't say it. Like
that's what I mean.
It's a pretty simple thing, but it's like you must be a bit of a dummy to say it on a recorded thing on the internet. Like that. Like you shouldn't say it in the first place. But like how ignorant, stupid do you need to be to the way he kind of like blasted it off. You know what I mean? I think he was just trying and rock the boat a little bit to try and be a little bit edgy.
So that's what I'm trying to find out. Was it detrimental, or did it just give him more publicity? How did it work out for him?
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Like, how did it play out where you guys are? Because, like I said, I don't
feel like it had an effect one way or the other. I don't think it did anything except he's just in the news a little bit now. Like he didn't lose.
Then it did have an effect. Then it had a positive effect.
To make it better.
No, I mean, because he Rogan was in the news before that came out because
I didn't know he
of
was.
the quote, coronavirus misinformation that people are accusing him of, and so he was already in the news, and then somebody else just cut together this thing
talking about corona. Well, only keep you in the news for so long. He's got to bring up something else, hasn't he? Got to keep himself.
Well, right. Like, isn't it like like even bad publicity is good publicity? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the whole thing, and his whole
unless
mindset,
you're Epstein,
right? Yes. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is his whole thing was it's like power stuff aside, is like if I'm reading a quote, I'm reading the quote. I don't give a shit what's in it. Type that was kind of his stance. Like I don't think he said it as a slur himself.
No, right.
It's always
exactly.
in context of quoting someone or whatever.
But isn't that like the first step? You know what I mean? Isn't it like
I don't agree.
You're just testing the waters here, and then like
I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I'm saying in context, I think that was his excuse, and it probably was to be edgy or whatever. I doubt, because it was a conscious decision to do so.
Yeah, for sure. I don't. Whether it was done to be edgy or not, I don't know. It's an interesting thing to say that any word, which is strange, because this is the only word we have really that I can think of that's like that. Really, there's a thing here that they used to do in schools, and I'm assuming they still do it, but it was called spread the word, the end of word, and it's about the word retard. You shouldn't say that. And so when my kids were in high school, spread the word, the end of word, they would do this stuff in the school, and a guy comes on stage at my kid's high school, and he says, it's no different than saying, and he said the N-word.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No,
he did. He said, and this was a high schooler that my kids went to school with, was part of the group that was doing this kind of movement or whatever. And I'm sorry. No, it's no different. And
that's fucked, dude. Who picked him up for that one? Like, nah, dude, it'll be fine. Just go ahead. And he's like, you sure?
Yeah.
Get out there. Kids love this shit, dude.
Man,
Kids
you're
love
a
it.
strong man.
You can do that. She's like, yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, what's his? Jesus.
Yeah. And so he goes on stage and he says that in front of the entire school. And it's like, well, and my kids came home and they're like, no, it's absolutely different, because there's one word that across the board, everyone calls it by its first letter. If you're a normal person, no one says, for the most part, the R word.
Oh, I've seen that more and more.
It's getting that way more and more, but
not as a name though. Like it's
7 years ago when my kids were in high school and this happened, like that was not as big a thing there. But there's one word in the English language that everybody calls by its first letter, and that's the only word that we do that. Now, different parts of the country over here, people will say the F word, or they'll say GD or whatever.
Like here in the South, you don't say "God damn it" for the most. Well, it's gotten better, but I mean, as a whole, "God damn" was the big one. And yeah, it's because people like say "God damn it" a lot more. Right. And fucking so cunt's the big no for the most part. We've talked about that. Interesting, because
my wife doesn't like cunt, but she doesn't mind cunt. She'd rather you call her a cunt than a bitch. Like my wife is that way. For sure.
Just come to Australia. You'll love it.
I would love to. I don't know that I can get her on a plane for that long, but I'd love to.
It's a long flight, please. But that Joe Rogan thing's a bit wild. Who's that old dusty dude, that old fucking singer who was like
dusty?
And he was like, I'm gonna take my music down. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up, nobody cares. You don't even own your music, bitch. What are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. He's like, yeah, all right, sorry.
I think he does own his music. I think
it's like 40% of his music. Like he only owns a percentage.
My theory is this was an excuse for him to take his music off of Spotify, because he offers his entire catalog in the highest quality possible on his own personal website for purchase. So if you subscribe,
you guys have lost me. Who are we talking about?
Neil Young.
Neil Young.
He
told Joe Rogan.
People with him.
Right. Yeah.
That's right. He's dying fans.
Spotify's hurting because of this Joe Rogan controversy as much as Netflix hurt because of the Dave Chappelle controversy.
That's exactly right.
And they just released a statement over the last week that Chappelle's producing more specials of other people on Netflix now. Yeah. So, if anything, everyone learned their lesson that money talks, and that's it. So.
Yeah,
that's right. How do you guys feel about the Chappelle thing, though?
I loved it. It's one of the. It's not. I didn't laugh as much as his other specials. fucking pretentious as ever, but it felt important that his special. It felt the same way listening to going back and not living through the time and listening to some of the things that Richard Pryor talked about. It had that same feeling of like, this is important shit that he's saying here. Whether you like how he says it or not, it's important. And I don't know, I liked it. I laughed, but you know,
I've refused to watch it to this point just because Joey keeps insisting that I do, and I love Chappelle.
I've never
for the
once
most part. You're like, dude, you have to watch that. Why haven't you watched that yet? Just because you did.
What about you boys?
I've watched it, but I haven't watched the whole thing. And those sort of topics, they don't really faze me too much. So I'm more concerned myself with whether or not it's funny rather than whether or not he's saying things that he shouldn't be saying, because to my mind, he probably shouldn't be saying it.
Okay.
But if it's funny, it's funny. And personally, I prefer there are other stars I prefer besides Dave Chappelle. So I really only looked at it from a humor point of aspect, and I just thought it was all right. Didn't think it was great. But yeah, I guess the reality is, if a certain group of people and enough people are offended by what you're saying, then yeah, it is questionable whether or not you should be saying it.
Do you think that there should be like? Do you feel like that there are limits and things you shouldn't joke about as a comedian? Like, it should be.
It's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fine line, but the answer to that is yes, because in the UK we had comedians like, I can't remember his name, Manning, some guy called Manning, Pete Manning, or some guy called Manning. But especially in the old days, there were comedians that would be taking the piss out of black people and putting on that black accent, or what they would call a black accent. Right. And the truth is, it was offensive. I didn't find it funny.
Like white comedians?
Yeah. White comedians. Yeah. And and I didn't find it funny. But of course, he would go into those working men pubs were filled with white guys.
Yeah.
And of course, they would all find it funny. So it doesn't necessarily mean that all those people in that room were racist, but it was offensive to many black people. And I'm not someone who is easily offended. But it was offensive, bro. It was offensive.
Yeah.
All right. It's interesting.
It is a fine line between offensive and
funny,
and kind of just funny and pushing.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, some of the things that are offensive is what makes them funny as well.
That's right.
That's true. It's true. For sure.
Well, that's my thing. I don't feel like, because every comedian has an audience, so to speak. And like, I don't know, like, as far as a comedian goes, I don't feel like that there is a line. Like, you make whatever fucking jokes you want, and if people think it's funny, you'll do well. If not, you'll fucking tank. And I think some of it, to me, depends on intent, right? Like, if you're literally just making fun of what the fuck ever versus attacking something with an intent and using humor as a disguise for it. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a difference in intent and just, whatever.
So what about humor related to the Holocaust?
The Jimmy Carr joke is funny.
Again, it depends on joke and intent, right? I mean, that's what it boils down to. Like, I don't think there's anything too sacred to joke about anything at all, ever. But it's intent and context and whatever.
I think white dudes actively mocking black people.
And it's not even a black joke. The black jokes really are one thing. Black jokes are one thing, but when you start putting on this crazy, what white guys believe black people sound like,
right?
If that's your focus, then that's what it's going to make it seem, disrespectful and because, like Steve said, there's no subject that you can't joke about. That's the point of comedy, making something uncomfortable, relatable, and hilarious at the same time. If worded correctly, you can make anything funny. If I made a joke about a homeless guy with no arms and no legs, depending on your experience, you might feel offended. But if I made you laugh, is it wrong? Are you now the ignorant person because I made you laugh at something that was true and funny at the same time?
Well, what about people who are armless and legless? What if they don't find it funny?
So
get a sense of humor. No.
right. Well, I mean, a big part I think of I don't know, being an adjusted human is being able to, like, there's definitely things to, I think offense is warranted in certain areas. But there's also, and again, that's where I think intent and malice comes into play, because a big part of, like, a lot of times dealing with trauma or dealing with bullshit is to be able to laugh about it and, you know, find things to joke about or whatever. And because I mean, there's a reason some people use humor as a fucking defense mechanism, because, you know, they had a fucking train run on their asshole in prison or some shit, and, you know, they gotta, like, make light of it, or else they're gonna relive getting fucking, you know, dicks in their asshole for fucking 3 hours, you know. So there's
What a great example.
3 hours. That's such a specific time.
That's why they're drinking beer at 7 o'clock in the morning. To push those memories down.
Drinking at 7 o'clock in the morning is because you're getting ready for those 3 hours.
Yeah.
Warming up. Do you think
people, you got a full afternoon or something?
Yeah, I got to drive fucking 7 hours.
He's talking about me. Do I have a full afternoon?
Oh no, sorry. I just assume everyone's talking to me all the
you know,
time.
I don't talk about my personal life on here. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, the increase of, like, comedy is because, like, these people do have a platform where they can kind of push the boundaries of saying things without sort of stepping into it, like immediate cancel, like that immediate, like being deemed like too much and being canceled straight away. So what a comedian can say is obviously a lot more than what we could say on the platform that we use. So do you think that there's a rise in it because of that? Like,
I think it's because there's such a push from the loud minority of people that telling people you can't say things. I think that's why it's becoming so popular, because there are your comedians out there, your Dave Chappelle's, and I'm trying to think of another one that's pushing the envelope as much as he is. But
it depends on, like, I don't think anybody with that type of stature, but I mean, you have guys like Jeselnik that'll say some fucked up shit, and they don't fucking care. Yeah. But I don't know. But again, I think, and I keep going back to this. Some of it's intent. Some of it is you don't give a fuck about, you know, whoever. Like, if you have an audience, you have an audience, and at the end of the day, as a comedian or about, you're there to make fucking money. You know, you might, you know, your job might be to make people laugh or to find humor in whatever, but, you know, it's getting paid, man. And you're going to cater to whatever demographic's going to give you the fucking money to pay your bills. I mean, that's human nature.
Does that translate to, like, say, music?
I think it translates to everything. You're going to cater or pander to whatever demographic, because any artist, quote unquote, that says, "Oh, I just do it for art and not for the money," they're not successful artists.
I was in a band. You do it for the money. 100%. You do it for money.
100%.
Like,
and it might be shit money, but it's at least with the hope of making more money. You know what I mean?
Right. That's exactly why you do it. Plus girls, lots of girls.
Yeah, and free drugs. If you're into that type of
I mean, it also depends on the case, because if you're a billionaire and you love doing stand up and you're actually funny, you know, you would do it for free because it's not affecting your living situation.
Well, then you're doing it for the attention. You know, and billionaires still want more money, because I've always joked that, like, being an artist of any kind, it's equal parts narcissism and self-loathing for the most part, and they blend together in this weird, like, combination of, oh, everyone loves me and I'm awesome, and then you're in the room afterwards like, you piece of shit, you can't fucking write a song. Fuck you. You'd be back out on stage and be like, I'm the greatest fucking god in the whole world, you guys should all fucking line up and get a piece of this, and then you're back in the room like, I fucking hate myself, you know.
So would you, if you were a man of wealth, would you give up a passion you have, like music?
No, but I'd use that wealth to fund a really great album and producer, so then I'd be famous for having music, for being a musician, and have money. So it's, you know, double.
Sounds good.
Okay. So it just sounds like you're in it for the money, not necessarily everybody else.
No, because why else would you perform? Again, if you're already a billionaire, sure, but even billionaires want more money, or else they would just quit doing everything all the time. You know what I mean? It's still a motivator. I mean, it comes down to money and affirmation. And if you have the money, then you want the affirmation. If you have the affirmation, then you want the money. Like, I think those are human nature's two big main motivator is fucking power and being liked by people for the most part. And I think people, that's one thing going back to comedians, is they actively use that kind of antithesis of that just to be, it's like, oh, I can be not liked, but you're still getting people that like, oh, they're finding me funny because I'm offensive, because you're still making money at the end of the day, and you're still getting notoriety, and you're still having some element of like power, right? Even if it's only power over your situation and own life and be able to say what the fuck you want to say, it's still a type of power and adoration from other people. That's just my opinion on artistry.
Yeah,
I kind of agree.
Yeah, sounds about right to me.
Of course,
it's
you
like you can look at the you can definitely look at the changes, especially like musicians, right? How the first couple of albums are always really good, like, and it starts to drop off because there's no real urge to do it anymore. You know, like you said, you use your art, this art form, to get you out of like a situation you're in, whether it be like wealth or mental health or whatever. And then once you start to make money, you don't need it as much. Like there's not that urge. Like the best art comes from the worst situations. You know what I mean?
Once your situation change, you can't. I mean, you see it in all forms of entertainers. Like, you know, their subject matter changes because they're not around that environment or in that same headspace. So, depending on, you know, what type of artist you are, of course, your content could change, but you know what makes you great at what you do shouldn't, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm not sure if it's a case of, you know, you make a couple of hits, you make some money, and you lose the urge. I think even when people make hits, it's not always clear on why it's a hit. So, you know, you made a couple of hits, it's great. You do something else, you think it great, it doesn't quite make it as well as you had hoped. Now the pressure's on a little bit. You're trying to make something else.
Yeah.
Well,
most of the time, the industry has moved on. Most of the time, if it's in pop music, not necessarily pop as a drum, but popular music, there's a fucking handful of dudes in a room that decide what's going to be popular or not. And then they just force feed it down everybody's throat until it's like, oh, what a great song. This is the #1 hit, fucking whatever. And then, you know, after that trend and there's a new trend rising up, something they can profit off of more, that other thing is going to be pushed aside. And so bands either have to adapt to that or they keep catering to the fan base that they've already built. And if it's large enough, that'll sustain. But I think, like Josh said, it's you kind of either lose the drive or there's, hey, I can make what the fuck I want. And I already have a fan base and they're going to love it. And then, you know, you start losing, and you lose, like you said, that edge or that drive a little bit. It's like, and like Big T said, like you lose when you're writing from some shit because you're coming out of nothing, trying to make it. You're hungry to get to that point, and then you get there and you're like, well, where do I go from here? You get bored, and that's where the artistry kind of starts suffering because the drive has been here, and you kind of lose touch with that. You know why you were creating shit in the first place.
So do you think someone who's been struggling for years, because most of them are struggling for years, they make a hit, they make lots of money, they make a second hit, it still does very well, and then they lose interest? I don't think so.
No, it's not that they lose interest. It's the driving factor behind it.
You don't think they want more of that money? When you are poor for a long period of time, and you make, your biggest fear is that you're going to lose that money. You want to make more, but it's not always easy.
At what point, though, right? Like, so what point are you gathering funds, or what point are you making art?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? And then plus the music industry's fucked, right? Like the contracts they get these people to sign, like you're kind of locked in regardless.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of like a double-edged sword, but it's you know, you look at people like Eminem or Dr. Dre, right? I use those as a reference just because I saw them at the Super Bowl. But it's like they've been like consistently good the whole time, though, right? But it's like you like look at Eminem, for example. Like when he came out, it was like dark. It's just really dark and gritty, and then he got a bit of money, and you could kind of tell that it was like he didn't have that grit anymore. And now that he's like, he got sober. Like his life wasn't
usually damaging to people's music too. Just saying.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. But now I think he's back because he's just yelling at other people. He just like his rap is like based around him being mad at people and yelling at them through a microphone. You know what I mean? If it's not his mom or his ex-wife.
For his live show, I fucking hate him live. I think he's awful on a live show. Yeah,
he doesn't give a fuck what you think. He has $400 million.
I'm saying from a personal standpoint, I've seen him live a couple times. I don't like the fact, and it's common. But I don't know. He keeps the backing track going, and he raps over an already fully, but basically throws his fucking album in and just raps over the top of it. And that annoys the shit out of me. I hate it. It's just one of those things.
When you've done enough drugs, your memory is not the same, and you're not going to have the same cadence and everything you had. So you need that. Other than that, you're going to be in front of a horrible performer. He'd rather give you something that sounds semi good opposed to something that's trash and make you never want to see him live again.
But that's a shit excuse, because there's so many bands that they've been in so many levels of fucked up and they still play shows live without backing tracks, without any of that shit. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Who?
First off the top of my head, I can think of is fucking when I saw Jay-Z.
Yeah.
The motherfucker played with a
Jay-Z
live
big
band the whole fucking time and had nothing behind him but a fucking live band. And like that was like that's fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen some other shit live, but pop artists are really bad. Like pop and hip hop are probably the two most common you hear. And I have no problem with the backing track for music, but when you have your full vocal track going over the top, so you can take a break and say whatever you want, and your fucking vocals are still going behind you. Like,
and I think like
it's karaoke. That's fucking
at the level of
but I mean like hardcore drug users, like people who were tying off before they got on stage, like those people. They a lot of them aren't even here today. They make biopics about those people because they were great at one point, but
they were so awesome from their drug use.
Yeah.
You think so?
No.
Heroin makes you better at playing guitar?
But it makes you feel better about how bad you are at playing guitar.
Heroin, but you can go listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan, and all the shit before he got sober is way better than the shit after.
I was saying cocaine will make you play fucking guitar better.
So you gotta remember, like if you watch those interviews with those people, they'll say, "Oh, I could never make a song like that before because I could never be that high again." They don't that mindset put them in such a creative place. They were able to, pull that hit.
I think, like I said, it's like the best art comes from the worst places. Like being like astronomically high isn't. I don't think it's fun.
No, but
you know
it's
what I
coming.
mean? Like just being strung out isn't fun. Like,
but usually if you're an addict, you have all kinds of dark shit going on, and that's what you're pulling from to make your art. It's not so much being that fucking high that helped them write as much as whatever reason that they were getting that fucking high is what they pulled from to create.
Yeah.
And that's not saying to me that, good things can't be created from good places, because there's plenty of examples of that. But I'm just saying most of the, like historically, at least in modern times, like music and art and literature and all that shit, like all of that best stuff. Because that's one thing as a human, like what makes me happy is going to be different than what makes André happy, or it's going to be different than what makes Josh happy. But the shit that makes us miserable is all pretty fucking common. So like suffering is relatable across, even though there's levels of it, but the general human emotion of suffering is a commonality between everyone. But happiness is much, it's can be defined much different between people.
Yeah. Can that be related back to like the Dave Chappelle special? Just in a way, like I think his third one was from like a place of hurt. Yeah. Like that wasn't funny. That made me sad. Like you like it was a man.
Richard Pryor's last stand up was the same way. That shit was dark as fuck when he was talking about like fucking freebasing cocaine and all that shit. I mean, he's bringing some jokes in, but goddamn, it was like you could see a dude that was just fucking suffering.
Is he trying to do a Richard Pryor special? Then that's what Richard Pryor did, isn't it? He talked about okay. I didn't see the
which special are you talking about, Josh?
The last one. Do you know how everybody attacked him for the last three specials were very trans heavy, but in the last one he explained like it was like a man trying to like come to grips with it himself, and he had a friend that was trans, and because she was friends with Dave, she got heckled and like taunted by the community, and she killed herself.
What?
Yeah.
So
it's pretty dark shit. Like if you take the jokes out of it, it's a fucking dark thing.
Yeah.
And it's like
dark show ever. Yeah.
Well, he didn't bring that up, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. He did the whole thing in the special. He told so this is what he said to him. He was like, "Did you guys watch the special, or did you just hear the word trans in it?" Because he's like, if you watch the whole thing, he was like, I'll meet with you guys if you watch a special and you come to where I tell you to come. Like you come to me, I'm not going to you. And nobody took him up on it. It was.
He had one other thing. He also said you had to admit that Hannah Gadsby's not funny.
Yeah.
He also said that.
He did say that.
Actually, that happened in
taking,
Nashville. He did that in Nashville.
They were taking, what he was saying out of context. Anybody could take a soundbite from a conversation and, curate it to make it seem like, it's bad, just like with the Rogan thing. But if you listen to what he said and not just what the viewers or the critics are putting out there and pay attention, you'll see that he's actually telling you exactly how he feels. It's not him being, transphobic or anything like that. This is how he translates the world through his comedy. You know what I'm saying? So to make light of a very sensitive subject, here's how I view this situation. And when everyone's so butthurt about what the previous person did, anybody else who jumps on the subject becomes target number one. I mean, look how bad 45 did in office. You know what I mean? And anything that came after him that was even close to his rants or his raves became target number one.
Yeah.
Hence Dave Chappelle. And this is a man who doesn't really give, doesn't care about what people say, because that's not how the world works. If he did, he would give up like his friend Daphne did. But unfortunately, they put the blame on that particular situation. Obviously, she was dealing with something more personal than she would care to share about with anybody that she loved or whatever, and she ended up, taking her own life. But it's not to say that what they did not add on to it. But
right, because
you got to take the yeah. So you got to take accountability for that, So he's willing to do that. He's willing to stand his ground and, admit if he's wrong in a particular situation. But you can't bully anybody into thinking the way you think just because you think you're right.
Yeah. And I don't think Dave Chappelle could he's not a man that can be bullied anyway. The dude walked away from $50 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that situation was a little bit different, but
different. Like, you know what I mean? But he's got the money. He doesn't need to prove anything. And I think
if someone offered me 10% of what I actually earned, I would have walked away from it too.
100%. He definitely should have walked away from it. It was a cock deal. But I think Dave Chappelle has entered, like, people hold him up as a comedian, but like now he's like a poet, like a modern age poet, in the guise of like there's jokes in between it. Like, he actually has some like really decent shit to say, and it's like sometimes it's sort of blown off as like, but he's just a comedian. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of like impact could a comedian make in this sense, or in this sector, or this this particular group?
Well, that's one of the reasons I said, like, that special, while it's not his funniest thing, it's probably the most important thing that's come out lately. And like, John, I think, Josh, you're the one that said earlier, like, people just heard trans or saw a headline that said trans and they immediately went on the attack on him. And like, if you think that was an attack on the trans community, then you're not listening to what he's saying, because he's God damn.
Hey, man, I'm needy.
Because
like your hand movements of beer.
Yeah. Like, yeah. But it's actually about the disparities between white and black people, because he tells a story about a lesbian in a club, and he's trying to be on the kind of share those I guess the despair, I can't think of the word, but anyway, where they both, the LGBT community and black community come under fire for some similar things, or are attacked for some similar things. And he's trying to bridge that gap between them, and she, because she's white, immediately flips and she's not on his side and so calling the police on him because she's white and he's black. And that's one of the statements he says, like, at the end of the day, lesbian or not, you're white, and you will always fall back on that. You can always fall back on that. And that's the thing. Like that special is not about the LGBT community. It's about disparities between white and black people in the United. There's more. It's more nuanced than that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it just is that cut and dry, but it's not an attack on trans people at all.
It's an
It
attack
just
on
happens to
anybody.
be that. No, it just happens to be. I think it's an attack on the system. Is really, I think, what
That's
it
right,
is.
yeah.
But
system.
it is. Yeah.
So, do you think maybe the two should be separated? If he's got something to say it. If he's going to do comedy, do comedy.
Nope, I don't.
Nah. I don't think he can. Like, I think as soon as he steps out of it, like I said, I think comedians have like this, like they do teeter on such a thin line between saying something offensive, but also saying shit people need to hear almost, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they can kind of get away with it a little better than the regular persons because it is under the guise of comedy.
Well, it's
Under
that
the
whole
guise, but that's why I asked the question.
Yeah, so I think if he was to separate it, he'd be taken as a regular man having an opinion, and they'd be like, no, like fuck off. Rather than doing it as a comedy special, where he's one of the greatest comedians alive, that's his platform.
But that's my point. He's a comedian. I mean, is he qualified to be?
Do they have to be mutually exclusive?
Yeah. Like
I think the last thing we need is more separation. We have enough of that through classism.
Yeah, I mean, I just think because I mean, there's a lot. I mean, if you get some of these people, I guess to me, it's like a lot of things. It's when you start telling people, and don't get me wrong, like especially my big thing is I hate political musicians, even though political's been around forever, and I don't mind politics in the music, but I hate politics in their speech between. But I think part of a comedian's job, for a good depending on what they do, is that social commentary. I mean, that's kind of what they do. Everything is based on this observation of the world around. And I'm not saying, I'm giving a lot of credit to some really shitty comedians, but I think Chappelle, he's a very, very intelligent dude. And I think that's his platform. Like he's made himself successful and he can put some hard truth in there. But I mean, saying that a comedian can't use that as a platform is the same thing. I don't know, as saying that, well, you can't have a discussion about this because you're not this. And like, that's not how, like,
what about sportsmen then? Sportsmen.
But isn't that the same thing? It's like, you know, like musicians, right? You see like fucking, I think it was like Adam Levine or some shit came out and was like politics. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up and just play some music, dude.
But that's why I'm asking the question. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well,
so was he qualified? They told him to shut up.
Oh, go ahead.
Was he qualified to?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I think in that
footballers. Anyway,
but like what Dave was doing, he was telling his own story, and he relates it. Like he doesn't step outside of his own thing. He relates it back to everything that he's been through, like his friends and the stuff he grew up with, and you know, like so it's all kind of relatable. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Where like he doesn't overstep and go like we need to do, I don't know, like whatever.
Yeah, but
like,
I hear you saying.
Like, there's a fundamental issue. There's a systemic issue here, and we need to fucking change it. Like, and he relates it back to him, like I said, being a black man, and he relates it back to this, and he uses stories from his own life. But once again, it's all under comedy, right? So you laugh at your pain type thing.
Yeah.
Football, like sports people are a little different. Like, Ray, you make $80 million a year. What do you think? Shut up.
But I think too is like the whole point is that again, so comedians have a very different avenue of performance or whatever than a lot of other people, because like it's all through spoken word and it's all through personal experience or observation or whatever. So they're uniquely in an artistic position to kind of funnel some of that through, or kind of like even a visual artist or a writer, right? Like writers put social commentary in their fucking work all the time. That doesn't mean they're qualified to talk about it, but they're relaying whatever their viewpoints are into that work. Same thing with an artist in a painting, which is different, but people pull different meanings. Some of them have these artistic displays that they have a message that they're putting into it. Whereas like a musician, again, I don't have a problem if they have some political shit in their music and they want that, but as soon as they start fucking running their mouth about it, it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like just play music. Put that shit in your music if you want to. It's delivering through the medium. Like, okay, taking a knee in football. right? Like that shit's a powerful fucking statement, but they're not running their mouth, and it's all through of what's already happening in that football game, right? It's what's part of that tradition, part of the sporting event. They're taking a stance within that. They're not running their mouth outside of that, and I feel like it's shit like that. It's delivering your message in the avenue of your artistry, not stepping outside of it. I think it's more effective.
Taking a knee thing is the most fucking absurd thing ever. Why do people get so fucking mad at people taking a knee? You know what I mean?
Because it's America, and that's disrespect to the flag. I know, but I'm just saying that's the mindset.
Right? Yes.
Because nationalism is fucking huge.
That's
if you
crazy.
consider yourself a patriot in the U.S., you're one, more than likely very conservative, and I'd say, which I was going to say probably from the South, but that's probably not true. That's just my experience because I'm in the South. But people get very butthurt over disrespecting the flag, and if they feel like it's they feel like if you disrespect the flag, you disrespect God, but you're also disrespecting men and women in the armed forces.
Yeah,
and
you guys are very military based.
Well, but it's an insane thing now because it's all our military is volunteer. No one's being forced to go into the military.
Yeah.
So,
well, the funny
how
thing
does
is
taking the knee disrespect?
That's right.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But
I'm just asking. I don't understand. Huh?
Yeah, it doesn't disrespect
because you're not standing or moving your hat and putting your hand over your heart in respect for the national anthem and the American flag, which is what you're supposed to do. So you're taking a knee, basically saying, I'm not standing underneath this shit because everything's fucked up. And people are like, but that's America. You're, you can have your opinions, but you don't fucking disrespect our flag and you don't disrespect this. Again, it's also like you're spitting in the face of the people that fought for our freedom. It's this whole like weird mindset for that, but it's funny. I'm not like that at all, but you better be goddamn sure I have my veteran stamp on my driver's license and I have my armed forces license plate. You know why? I don't get pulled the fuck over here because of that shit. I get a military pass because I'm in the South. So I will play that shit till the day I die for my own personal benefit.
That's why you can drink and then drive across the
right. How do you guys feel about going to war with Russia? Have fun winning that one, motherfuckers.
Oh shit, man.
Here's the thing. It's about time we went to war with somebody again. It's been a little bit of
we got tired of the Taliban. It's time for the rest. It's gonna be like
how long has it been? Like 6 months? You're starting to get edgy over there.
We're movies again.
That's it. We will.
But see, we have to pick a new group to villainize in our movies from time to time.
Yeah.
Like we haven't had the Russians since the 80s. It's time to bring that shit back.
Bring
it's
it
like
back.
a reboot.
Red Dawn's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah. Fucking Pinkos.
That reboot wasn't that good, but it was
the reboot. It was good. I like the original. The original was really good, man.
Yeah,
I thought that was a cool movie. But to be fair, if that was real, how well do you think you're faring up against the Russians? Not people in caves.
There's nobody in the U.S. anymore that's the way the people were in the movie Red Dawn, the way the Americans were in Red Dawn. I mean, like,
oh yes, there are
trying to avenge people like that. No,
there are some. You're paying.
There are 10 people in the United States that everyone else,
and there's actually 10.
Like okay. Yeah, no, I did. I talked to him at the meeting.
Wow.
No, I mean, like
they take their hoods off during the coffee break and they discuss.
Yeah, that's true. No, no one in. Everybody's a bunch of scared.
Oh, you're talking about as far as standing up.
As far as standing up, if Russia decided to invade America, we're fucked. Like overall, we are. I mean, but no one's like Red Dawn, not like the Americans were in that movie. No one's going to stand at the internment camp fence and yell, "Avenge me!" No one's going to do that. I'm like, get the fuck down! They're going to hear you. Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Good thing you guys have all those guns, though. I think.
Yeah.
Ain't no pinko commie Russian coming in my house.
So, okay, let me tell you guys something. This is gonna especially I think with Josh and Andre. But so there's the guy that I work with. He's huge, like hardcore right-wing conservative. Like he still thinks they're going to overturn the election and give it back to Trump at some point. Like he's hardcore. His house, he has made false flooring underneath with fucking corridors and one-way mirrors so he can trap and kill people that may break into his house.
Is this someone I spoke to recently?
No.
Okay, I didn't
know. But this dude has guns on magnets over doorways. This dude has like I said, one-way mirrors and panic rooms that are stocked full of like ammunition. I mean, the dude has a small arsenal of sniper rifles.
Mental health problem. That's what he's got.
But no, he lives in hope of somebody invades his house. So
is he single? Is he single?
No,
he lives with his mum.
Wow.
No, that's
like this dude has spent thousands of dollars to basically build death rooms.
I'm far enough away, so I'm good.
But he's one of those guys, like on a personal level, like he's until he starts talking about like belief shit, like just one-on-one, he's just a normal, like, hey man, how you doing? It's good to see you, whatever. But as soon as you bring up a gun,
we're coming to
like,
my basement.
yeah.
Pulp Fiction shit going on down there.
John Wayne Gacy also had a decent basement as well. He's just still kid.
Right here. His crawl space was warm.
The Trump thing is getting out of control. So we've had
it's been out of control for 5 years. Getting
here.
In Australia. Oh, Jesus Christ.
We have Trump.
Oh, we have Trump flags. So we've recently had like the
is he going to be your president next?
I think so.
Prime Minister, right?
Yeah, no, he'll be president. He'll change it. But we have these people blocking off the street, and some of them have Trump flags, and you're like,
really,
bro? We don't write well down here.
But Trump has he come down? Has he been down to you guys? He hasn't, has he?
No, I don't think he'll come down. If he does, I'm leaving. I'm packing up.
Well, you have a place to stay here. We'll go shooting.
Yeah, I'm coming straight over. I'm coming to you guys. You guys already been through it. Right.
I didn't know that even there was still a thing, or that's fine. I pay no attention. I don't read the news. I don't watch shit. I pay no attention to anything anywhere for the most part.
Yeah, he's in the news still.
Okay, I know.
I actually heard a political commentator recently say that if the Democratic Party doesn't get its shit together, that he will get elected again in 2024. And it's somebody that also predicted he would beat Hillary and that Biden would beat him.
Wow. See, I enjoyed the Trump presidency. Because I love a good train wreck, and just watching shit crumble in social media. Dude, during the election, I watched families fall apart. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Just remember, you're in the back of that train car as it wrecks.
Yeah, that's right. You're just watching it just before it happens to you.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Like when I say that I think we need a better pandemic to wipe out a larger part of the society, I include myself in those numbers. Like, I don't care. It's fine. We need
Bill Burr.
He's like Thanos without the gauntlet, like without
beer and orange juice.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, you know what? We need to wipe out half the people, and if I'm one of them, fine.
Yep.
All right, so from an American perspective, what made Trump, like, why is he still like even considered? So from what obviously we hear, we only get like all the bad shit. Wait, what was that?
I was kidding. I said the support of the minority community.
No,
it's really big with Hispanic.
I mean, why is reality TV?
That's what he said. I'm just going by, yeah.
That's
just to answer your question, Josh. He wasn't a politician. He was a reality TV star who happened to be a billionaire, who shook up the foundation of what politics were, and he was going to, quote unquote, bring something different to the presidency, and he did. He made it a lot worse than it's ever been, and he gave rich people what they wanted, which was tax breaks and the ability to mess things up for the lower class. He even decided to separate us from Mexico and things like that, and he did that all on the promise of bringing back a society in which certain people of America thought it was prospering way better than it was before.
White people,
in which it wasn't. And
white people.
I can't say white people. Just
there's a whole bunch of white people who are like the 50s are pretty good.
I miss diners.
Let's bring it back to that. That was fun. Yeah,
So-
you know he's a horrible president when they get some senile old man to take over, and they're like, this fucker's got to be better than this dude.
Right.
Anybody is better.
Take
than what
fucking
he
whatever
did.
you got. Yeah. It's so crazy that he's still lingering though.
Right, so let me ask you a
Well,
question.
we love a good shit show. That's why reality TV is so important, so popular over here, because we love a shit show in the U.S. And so he came out and said shit that the group of people that wouldn't normally vote or would only do it if they had the extra time. He came out and said the same shit that they think, and they're like, "Fuck, I better go vote for this guy." And so people turned out at the poll in support of
Well,
him.
I think part of it too is there's a much larger. I think it's a mix between like very moderated or very moderate, not moderated, very moderate, and there's a much larger conservative community in the U.S. than is represented, right? And I'm not talking about the loudmouth, like Southern, all that stuff. I just mean people that like has to have these quote unquote traditional American values of family. I think there's a lot more than are outspoken. And when we had a guy that was saying the anti-shit, the antithesis of what they view as the downfall of the society, America, they start coming out in droves, as opposed to, like Joey said, they might have never come out before because they're just content to live their lives and do their thing. And I think it stirred all that shit. So I'm going to interject just for a second. We usually take a break here. We don't have to. I'm going to smoke one way or the other. If we want to take a break, we can, or you guys can continue talking amongst yourselves, and I'll be back in a second.
Do you guys need a bathroom break or anything real quick? Or you guys
good?
Yeah,
I'm good.
All right. Fuck you guys. We'll be right back.
All right. Steven's going to go smoke.
The man,
Oh,
the
man.
myth.
Right.
How's things over in the UK? Like with all the COVID-y stuff.
All right.
That's all. With that,
I paused a little bit because I thought you was going to ask something else. But
there's a bit of a backup there with the Queen paying off pedophiles' debts.
now that's where I knew you. I don't think we've ever had a program where you haven't mentioned royalty, and I don't think you've ever called them anything but pedophiles.
Bro, I can't go anywhere after these podcasts. America's going to shun me. Definitely talk about the UK.
As long as you keep getting on other countries, you'll be welcome over here in the US.
Yeah,
Josh, I gotta have you on the show so we can talk more.
100%. Hit me up. I'm getting back into it in a few weeks, so I'd love to come on, man. Just we might need to censor it. We need a 10-second delay or say something stupid. Yeah. So how are things over there? Like, you guys essentially got rid of the COVID rules, right? You guys lifted it.
We're now trying to get people to go back to work, but I wouldn't say we've got rid of the COVID rules because we're still having to wear masks or supposed to wear masks on public transport. But you can go anywhere. You can go on undergrounds and see people are on their undergrounds with no masks on. You'll see people on trains with no masks on. But the general rule is that yes, you should be wearing masks. I've meetings, company meetings with we got.
Sorry, I just heard that message.
right. Yeah,
Roxanne.
Yeah.
One in every show. One in every show
for sure. More than one. But yeah, I've had meetings with our counterparts in the US, and even in the offices, there's guys sitting at their desks with masks on, and with us, we don't do that. We, they say we should wear masks if you're going to the toilets and stuff like that, but normally most people don't even bother to do that. But
is everything open? Like everything's open?
Oh yeah. Everything's open back. Everything's open back. But again, you're supposed to wear masks in crowded places. If you went to go in a shop, you'll still see signs saying wear a mask. But I would say a good 70% of people don't bother. Some people are still wearing masks, but a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, right. And how has it leveled things out a little better? Like, so here we got very relaxed rules, and we're still getting protesters and my freedoms. You're fucking shut off a street, capital city. You dickhead.
Yeah, no, it's not that bad, but of course they're still trying to get people to take the booster, and and also the government is talking about children getting vaccines now, and that's concerns me a little bit. But when I say children, I think I don't know what the age group is now, but definitely 12, 11, 10-year-olds. they look like they're pushing to say that age group should now be thinking about getting vaccinated. And of course, now that's getting a lot of backlash. A lot of people aren't keen to do that, but they don't appear to be pushing it that heavy. But the option is there if they want it. I mean, I'm still getting emails and stuff to say that I haven't had my booster and it's available, but I'm just ignoring that. But it's out there. It's out there.
You're just not going to get the booster?
Say again?
You're not going to get the booster?
No, in all honesty, I got the first 2 vaccines, and I think I've had my fill. I'm not looking to get any more, if I'm being honest. In fact,
I think it's...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go. No, you go.
I've got I was going to the hospital on a regular basis to get this treatment for a rash, and then they told me that I needed to start bringing in I can't remember what it's a tester basically to say that I haven't got COVID twice a week, and I just packed the whole thing in. I just didn't bother after that.
Yeah, right. You still got the rash?
Yeah, but it's just on my own. But yeah.
I'm sure there's some cream for it out there. Just
Just
do it yourself. Just start picking up random creams.
But my point is that, even though I had the vaccines, I've just decided enough's enough. I mean,
it's too much.
Yeah, I'm not going to be looking to get vaccinated or a booster every 5 or 6 months or whatever. I'm just not going to do that.
What about you boys, Americans? What's it like over there?
Andre sounds a lot like me as far as like I got the first 2. I played along. I was a good little sheep and did what was asked because it didn't hurt me at all, freedom or not. It didn't hurt me to put a mask on to go into a store or whatever. And I got COVID anyway, so fuck off. I'm not wearing a mask anymore unless I'm in an airport or 100% required to do it.
We still did the show when you have COVID.
Yeah.
But that it wasn't like a cure-all. It wasn't.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I did everything I was supposed to. I got COVID and powered through it in 3 or 4 days or so, and I'm, probably gonna die 20 years earlier. But but no, I mean, I got the 2 vaccines, and I don't intend to get the booster unless I have to have it to travel for work. And that's it. I mean, I played the game, and now I'm not. I'm going to go about my life the way I feel like I want to. So
see, I got the vaccines first, but for the same reason, just so I could travel for work. I did go to like LA and New York and some shit. So for my own convenience, really is why I got it. But like, I did the mask thing for the first little bit, and just because nobody really knew what the fuck was going on, even though I didn't.
It's interesting. I didn't do it the first little bit.
See, but like there's a few requirements and shit that I had to do, but then after that, like, I went by. If it was a small business, like a mom and pop shop that required a mask, I would put it on because, it's their business, private business. They could do their thing. If it was like Walmart or Home Depot or something, like, nah, fuck a mask.
Yeah.
Like if it was a big like chain store, I was like, nah, I don't give a shit. And I got yelled at on more. Like I had one lady come up and she was like, "Why are you not wearing a mask?" I was like, "Cause I don't fucking want to wear one." She was like, "Well, what if you spread this?" I was like, "I don't fucking care." And she's like, "Well, what if you kill my grandfather?" I was like, well,
"Don't you know I'm Thanos, bitch?"
Right? She was like, "Well, you could get me sick, and I could like kill my grandfather." I was like,
"Get the fuck away!"
I was like, "I don't know your grandfather." I don't fucking care.
That's on you, bitch.
Exactly. It's like, don't go see your grandfather. Like, whatever. But
so it was interesting. Andre, you said that they're talking about getting kids vaccinated now around what would you say 10, 11, 12? But I mean, we've been.
I think we are. Yeah.
For a little while, like they're talking about now 4 and 5-year-olds being able to get vaccinated now.
I think we're the same now.
That just sounds crazy to me, man. 4 or 5
Big
years.
T, are you vaccinated?
Me?
Yeah, but with COVID, COVID didn't affect me like everyone else. Actually, when I got it, I got stronger. So it's different. So
give it to me again.
I don't know. I guess my immune system just was different compared to everyone else. I know people that it affected tremendously, and others it didn't bother as well. So it's a case by case basis. So it was the best worst thing that ever happened in my life personally.
See, my body already runs on pharmaceuticals, so I figured it just
yeah.
Big T's going to get canceled for saying you like COVID.
Ooh. See,
No, I said that it was the worst thing that happened to my life personally, because what the quarantine did was create opportunities for a lot of people who were stuck in bad situation. It also was detrimental to others, you know.
Yeah.
So for me personally, that's the way I view it. I don't look at it as it ruined my life, it caused me to do this, or you know, things like that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about your mindset. You know, a lot of people felt like they were trapped in their house. Nah, that's just your mindset. You could have done whatever you wanted. You just had to do it in a safe way.
Yeah. I do think some of it fucked over. I mean, as does a lot of shit like this, but it fucked over like single moms, and their only job was like they were, you know, waiting tables at 3 different places or working at shit just to try to make their shit meet, and suddenly they don't have jobs anymore. Like those are the people that really fucking.
Well, that's all
to
we
be
have.
fair, to be fair, America
Yeah.
handled it pretty poorly.
Oh,
What'd
absolutely.
you guys get, like $600 or something at the start, and that was it? Like, wasn't it something?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. Well,
it was on top of unemployment.
They sent us a check, and they sent us a check in, you know, mid to late 2020. My wife and I sent us a check, and then 2021 rolled around. It was tax time, and said, "Oh, by the way, we weren't supposed to send you that. We're gonna need that back." And so we
take mine back.
They took ours back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure they took ours.
That's
back.
funny. Yeah. No,
it's not funny.
I think
You have to pay taxes and pay money back that they gave you. That's not funny at all.
Yeah, but your tax system is also bizarre, right? Don't you guys have to do your own tax, and if you fuck it up, you go to jail?
You can either pay somebody to tell you how much you owe the government, or you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's that risk, which we've done our taxes ourselves. I say my wife has done our taxes for years, and we were audited one time, and it's because she didn't know how to do the college stuff. And since then we've been, I'm
currently paying like 12 grand in back taxes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot, because you tried.
I was a dumbass.
You went all.
Tax isn't automatically taken from them, then, Josh. Is that you guys?
No, it's not. Yeah, they have to do it themselves.
Why is that?
They take taxes out of our paycheck ahead of time. If you fill out your paperwork incorrectly and they take too much, then they pay you back what they took too much of. If you fill it out incorrectly and you don't pay enough, then they send you a letter when you file your tax report. Then they basically say, okay, now you owe us this as well.
Yeah. See,
which is the boat we end up being.
See, a lot of people, I know I intentionally pay over to get a refund back at the end of the year. I intentionally do it.
Well, you know, Trevor said if you get a refund back, that's how he knows you're poor.
Right. Which is funny to me. Like, that was my one argument. I was like, but I intentionally do it just because owing taxes fucking blows. I'd rather get money back than owe at the end of the year. And I'm not a good enough accountant to know the system to break even at the end of the year.
It's great. My daughter's doing great. Like, I think she's getting back, I don't know, $100. So like her taxes have been just like perfect all year.
Yeah. Mine got fucked because my wife was working, and I didn't even, and this was just me being like an ignorant of shit, but because we used to do married filing jointly, I didn't even think about our income being cumulative, because her income over there wasn't enough. It'd be usually under the tax level where she wouldn't get taxed on it. So, and most of it was via PayPal anyway. So I was like, it's fine. So I just paid, you know, taxes and did my shit, and then came back, like, oh yeah, they attached they put them together, so you're in a higher tax bracket, so now you owe the difference. So now I owe the government like fucking, there's like $12,000 now that I'm having to fucking pay on. Like, fucking asshole.
If you screw up on your taxes, that's just a sign of your GED flaring up, in my opinion. Like, it's not really that difficult to follow, especially if you just read and can understand, you know, certain, you know, wordings. You know what I mean? Other than that, all I'm saying is, if you don't know something, ask a question. There's no dumb questions out there. You know, for the most
there are
part,
dumb questions, sir. There are dumb questions.
I said for the most part.
Okay.
So, do you need some help this year, Steven?
No, I will fucking fight you. Even I don't care if you fall one time. I'll give it a go. No, it was, like I said, it was just completely like it was.
He already owes 12 grand. He can't fuck up much worse than
that. And I can afford the other 75 that would cost me in hospital bills. So.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to give it. I was just asking. You know,
yeah.
I put it out there on social
just
media.
Started at it.
No. I'm good.
If anybody's watching this, Can you help him with his taxes, please?
I was in a bad place. I didn't think about it. You know, it was my own fault. But I accept my dumbassery and the consequences for my dumbassery. So
well, it'll get you.
Yeah.
So Josh, you doing any traveling coming up or lately?
I'm gonna try and get over to the States in October.
Okay.
Hopefully.
What's that about? Is that business, pleasure, personal?
I'm taking my grandma's ashes to Vegas.
All right.
That's about it. Plus, I loved America. Greatest country on the planet, right?
back World War champs, baby.
Yeah. Plus some. Yeah, I like. So I think I'm going to head over there soon, but we'll see how everything goes with obviously COVID and stuff. But it'll be fun to go back over.
Well, maybe we'll find you a Southern girl here to get connected with, and then you can just overpaying taxes and buy a bunch of guns and
what did you say before? Getting railed in the bum for 3 hours straight.
That's only if you go to jail. And Josh, you're white, so
I got a free pass. Nah, but that's a problem.
You don't have to about get out of jail free cards when you're born. If you're white, you get one.
Yeah, well, everybody gets one. Well, not everybody.
Yeah. Right, not everybody.
Not everybody.
Oh shit.
Well, in my case, everyone gets 3 strikes. That's all I'm saying.
How does the 3 strike? What is the 3 strike rule over there? Right, like I vaguely understand it. Like if you commit, like, is there a level of crime, or is it like if you do like
throw people in jail without trying them, really?
for minor things,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. So I feel like you get caught like shoplifting 3 times, they're like prison, bitch.
Unless you're in California, and you just take what you want as long as it's under like $5,000.
Well,
it's California is like under $900. They don't even go after you.
Yeah.
So people are just in broad daylight, garbage bags, walking into stores and just filling them full of $899 worth of stuff, and then walking out the door.
Who came up with that? Who was the guy who was
California's whatever, they're lawmakers in California.
State law, right? I think it's
wasn't it Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I don't know if it was him or not. It was whatever's the government. I thought it was California. Maybe it is just Los Angeles County. Or
dude doesn't even understand what $900 is. He has like billions of dollars. Like he's like, $900 seems about right. It's like everybody's getting all their shit stolen.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos.
Fly?
What was that?
He doesn't fly. He has like this huge RV that he travels around on throughout the states. Like he doesn't get on planes at all.
All right.
Like after he left Austria. Yeah, after he left Austria, that was like the last flight he ever been on.
Okay.
What?
That's interesting. I didn't know that about him. I knew that about John Madden, but not Schwarzenegger.
And he's dead. Look what that did.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So like, was it like a fear behind it, or is it just like, he just got on one once and he's like, fucking never again. He's like, that's shit's I ain't getting into a fucking weird big fucking tuna can thing, and everyone's farting on it and shit. And he's like, that's it.
Tuna can.
I'm fucking finished with this fucking sky bus.
Well, as big as he is, he probably doesn't fit in that seat very well either. So
shit.
Yeah.
Shoot, everything he had was souped up when he first got into acting here. Like he was one of the first ones to make a commercial grade Humvee, because they were all military at first, and then he made them popular for people to drive like every day.
He still gives them out at his show, like the Arnold bodybuilding show. I think if you win it, don't. I don't know if that's true, but he used to give away a Hummer and then the prize money. I don't know if he still does it, but I know he did.
You
it
were fitting over here just right, because you just said all that shit. Was like, well, I'm not sure if it's true.
I don't know if he's still doing it, unless he didn't do it at all, and I just made that whole fucking thing up. But it's believable. I sold it well.
Oh God!
Imagine those cars are dog shit to drive. Fucking,
they're not that good looking either. I mean, if we're honest, they're really not. I don't understand the love of the Hummers over here, the Humvees or the H3s or whatever they're up to now.
Do you know what it is?
I heard that they were doing an electric one, which makes even less sense to me. But
it's guys with big cars typically have little dicks. It's just a fact.
That's why I drive.
All Americans have big cars.
That's why none of the Americans laugh.
You're not invited over here anymore.
I'm kidding.
I drive a little Toyota Corolla hybrid, and I have a tiny dick. So yeah.
It depends. It's interesting what people consider big vehicles and not big vehicles though, because like the most recent vehicle I had, my wife was like, it's just too big. And I mean, it wasn't a full size SUV or anything. I mean, it was not a little car, but you know, I don't know. I like having a bigger vehicle. People get out of your way when you're on the interstates.
Oh my God. I do miss having a truck just for hauling shit around.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah.
We're starting to get like the American trucks here, and they're fucking huge. They are so big. Like
a lot of them are, yeah.
Yeah, see, I'd have a small car just because I drive probably at least every other week. I drive like 14 hours, and then and then every now and then. So, yeah, fuel. So.
Yeah,
but there's like I was gonna get like an all electric, like a Tesla or some shit, but there's almost no charging stations here in the South. Like there's 2 here in Knoxville now. Mm-hmm. There's none between here, and the one where my kids live is like one of the ones that takes like fucking 12 hours to charge your fucking car. So I'm like, nah, fuck that. Can't go anywhere. So I got to have at least a little bit of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go on those like cyber trucks.
Right.
That's what you need.
It's so ugly. It's so ugly. It is ugly. No. Is it cool? Is it cool? Yes. Is it ugly? Also, yes. It's both.
Can it be both?
El Caminos are cool and fast, but they were ugly. So.
No, El Caminos are cool as shit.
Some El Caminos are 100% beautiful vehicles, but for the most part, in the South, they looked like shit back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I never got the obsession. I never got the obsession when it came to cars. Like, you know, I just want to be comfortable. I don't care what it looks like. I just don't. I prefer trucks over cars because I don't like being low to the ground. You know, that's just me.
What kind of car do you have?
Oh, I got a SUV.
Yeah. I don't know. Like here it was like, so I bought a small car because I lived in Sydney. In Sydney, they thought about putting houses up, but not putting enough parking spots for said houses. So you had to like kind of like cram a car into like wherever you could find a spot, really. So
do you need
like
a
Subaru? No, I got a Volkswagen.
Okay.
Subarus here are like a Polo.
It's similar
to
a
what?
Subaru here, they're like the I don't know what you guys do. You guys have like P platers, L plates, P plates, like learner driver, like Hoons. It's a Hoon car.
Well, we have stickers.
What's a Hoon car? A Hoon.
You know, Hoons. Like, do you know what? Like they hoon around in their car, and like the cars make a lot of noise, and it's like
okay.
How are the bidders?
Not bad. It's
they're most popular with like not indie racing, but you know, like CRV racing, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's just typically like young people who just want to have a lot of noise come out of their car and not go anywhere very quickly. You know, and they're just our biggest cars here are like Holdens. I think Australians are like overly obsessed with their car, like they're like the homemade cars, which is like Holden and Ford, right? Oh, not Ford's not even from here, but Holden and Ford's are typically like the biggest ones.
Yeah, I was going to say easy. Ford's that's from the US.
Yeah. So, but like Holden, they're like just absurdly passionate. But well, even Holden's made in Japan now, I think, and they're still like, no, it's our car, and like you're either a Holden person or a Ford person, and if you meet somebody from the other thing, you immediately have to hate them. You're not allowed to be friends with a Ford person if you're a Holden man, and it's.
That sounds so much simpler than the way we do it over here.
It's fucking stupid.
It's
we've been growing up with the Chevy Ford thing.
Well, but see, we have more than just two. You know, it's always Chevy, Ford, Mopar. Really, was the big ones. I mean, what Mopar? It's Dodge.
Mopar?
Mopar is a company with Dodge. Like so, Dodge. You had Challengers and Chargers.
Mopar.
Yeah.
Oh, the guys that are into it do.
Okay,
that's why I said it. If there's Chevy, or the bow ties, they call it in that community as well, and then Ford. And then Mopar, which is like Dodge, the Challengers, the Chargers, Super Bs.
So I was talking specifically trucks. Everybody was Ford or Chevy. Like,
yeah, because trucks are the biggest selling thing over.
Yeah,
I got punched
in the States, right?
That's stupid.
What's that?
The trucks, like your trucks, are like the biggest selling car.
Trucks and SUVs for sure over here. Yeah.
Just like fuck the planet. I can't come over now. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're not right up everyone's alley, but you fit right in with Steven and I over here.
Yeah.
But, no, it's interesting because with fuel economy now, I mean, everything is really good compared to what it used to be. I mean, as far as that goes with vehicles, I mean. I don't know. That's a rabbit trail I could go down.
Do
for a
not
long
get
time.
him on fucking cars and shit, man. Please.
No, it's not that. It's
Please.
just with fuel economy and things like that. Because I work for an automotive company, and so I know a lot more of the ins and outs of some of that stuff and political stuff than some people. But yeah, that's it. So
look, we spent an hour and a half, and we've been having quite, serious topics.
I'll say Andre's been fucking quiet, man. More than usual.
All right, well, let me change all that then, because
but
because everyone's been talking serious, I've let it run. But I have to admit, I originally thought when we came on the show, because I remember last time we got quite deep, so I thought maybe we would have been a bit more lighthearted this time, but no, we didn't. We got right in again. So with that, I don't know, 30 minutes ago, I've got here funny. Well, I've got here Australian trivia questions. So I want to ask these questions, but I want to ask you guys first, and then I want to ask and then I want to hear what Josh has got to say. Okay. So the first question here is, what is a bushman's cock? And I'm asking Josh or
sounds like a good time to me.
That sounds like 3 hours of happiness.
Yeah, that's right. It sounds like prison, bitch. I don't know what that is.
Well, it says here that it's a kookaburra laughing.
No, that's some.
I googled it. It's true. A bushman's except it's a bushman's. It's a bushman's
bird, right?
Yeah, so kookaburra is like it's a laughing bird.
A bushman, but it's a bushman's clock.
Oh, clock. Yeah. I thought you said cock.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. That's why I thought it sounded like a good time. It doesn't sound like a good time anymore.
I'd like to point out the fact that everyone here thought cock. Just let me
which straight to get. All right, next one. What's up?
All right, then what is the more common slang term for fish frighteners?
What? Who the fuck is writing these, man? Fish
frighteners. They apparently you guys call them budgie smugglers. Does everyone know what budgie smugglers are?
Yeah, we call them budgies.
Okay. All right, but you don't call them fish frighteners.
You don't know what budgies are?
Yeah, no. I said, so you don't call them fish frighteners then?
We actually call them budgies. They're always called budgies. Like fish frighteners. That's
right. Okay. Well, maybe all of these are bogus. Is another one there?
I don't even know what a fish frightener is.
Right. I don't either.
You know what budgie smuggler is? Though? You know what budgie smuggler is? Do you guys know what budgie smugglers are?
No.
Oh
no.
They're like undies. They're swimmers.
Yeah, they're the
okay.
Not shorts, not shorts.
The shorts.
The
like speedos.
No.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, so we call them budgies.
Yeah, here we call them budgie smugglers as well. But fish frighteners, I thought that was.
That's us.
Maybe they're making these up then. All right, what about this one then? It says here, when the Aussies tried to sell New Zealand on eBay, what was the starting price?
I actually don't know, but it was a thing. Apparently, there's like I couldn't tell you the price. These are old, man. These are like this is shit like my parents.
1 cent.
Yeah, I know they tried to, but I don't know the price for it.
Okay,
that's it. Like just to sum that up, It really shows you how fucking stupid we got nothing else to do but trying to sell countries that don't belong to us. We got it so easy. We're just fucking chilling out trying to sell countries.
Right. That's funny. Like Americans take them. Yeah, that's what we do.
What's the highest grossing Australian movie?
Mad Max. No, it would be
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, it's bloody Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that, mate.
Hey, I watched that recently.
Josh looks a bit upset.
I thought Mad Max would have been like the original.
Well, that was Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee, but
Paul Hogan's a fucking national treasure.
Is that number 1 or number 2 though?
According to the Australian trivia,
wasn't really an Australian movie. It's like Mad Max 3 wasn't really an Australian movie.
But I will say that is responsible single-handedly for a shit ton of really bad Aussie accents just spreading across the web.
I think he did more.
I was going to say it's responsible for a lot of people buying huge knives just so they can say that to people. It's also responsible for Steven wearing a Crocodile Dundee hat the first time we played music together.
Crocodile Dundee.
I'm sorry, not Crocodile Dundee per se, but it was like Australian Outback hat.
It was a Bushman's hat.
Bushman's hat. With
did it have the little corks hanging? The little corks hanging.
Hey,
hold on. We were in a punk rock band, and Steven is standing on stage wearing a Bushman's hat.
I was ahead of my time.
Yeah, you're ahead of something.
And those cork hats were a marvel of Australian engineering, by the way.
Were they meant to frighten away flies? What was the idea of them?
Yeah, we have lots of flies. Okay. Lots of flies. So, apparently you wear it and it gets rid of them. So you just doesn't stop them from getting anywhere else on your body, but apparently it gets off your face. All right, let's go. Let's do another one.
I guess this one everyone knows, but what's the ratio of sheep per person in Australia?
Oh, fucking hell, man. Am I un-Australian? Is that what it is? Hopefully nobody. 7-1.
Ooh, 6-1.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad. 6-1. All right, you must know this one. In Aussie slang, what does it mean to have a Bo Peep?
Nobody says that. Come on.
do you know what it means?
No, I don't know what it is. You guys still stuck in the sheep?
Mm-hmm. Oh no! It's her sleep, having a sleep, mate. But your one's better. Your one's better, mate. Stuck in a sheep, did he say?
No, there's got to be. All right, I'm going to look up some UK ones.
I won't do that. I've got a couple of American ones then. All right, so let's do this. The average American does what 22 times a day?
Masturbate.
Think about sex.
I think Joey and Steve, they're so scary the way they think alike. It's just too scary. But apparently, you guys said it in unison, man.
Yeah,
it's scary. It says here opens a fridge. I didn't write it, man.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Really? 22 times? That sounds ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, the average American
as a kid.
Yeah, you gotta look at kids and people that aren't going to work and things like that. So yeah, I could see that. Sure.
Right.
In Kansas, a lot of people were bored.
Even more. In Kansas, it's illegal to eat cherry pie with what? You guys got lots of silly ones. It's illegal to eat cherry pie with ice cream.
Yeah, that's what I just
said.
What
do you mean, yeah? What do you mean? Yeah.
Because I got it right. I said ice cream.
Did you say that?
Hold up.
Here's the thing.
We have.
Is that an enforced law?
That's the same.
No, it's not an enforced. No, it's not.
Of course not. But the fact that it's there is ridiculous. And how would you know that?
So that law's probably been on the books for 200 years. Honestly, it's probably been on the books for.
Kansas hasn't been around for 200 years.
I'm just throwing out an arbitrary number, asshole. No, I'm just.
So how did you get that?
I don't know. Probably what happened is
common sense of how we know.
What happened is in the 50s, a white woman was walking down the street with cherry pie and ice cream, and something happened with someone that wasn't white, and they made it a law.
All right, that works. That works for me.
Honestly, that's how. Because there's somewhere in Alabama I heard recently. It's like it's illegal to walk down the street with an ice cream cone in your back pocket. Who the fuck's doing that anyway?
Yeah, we have some weird shit.
It's stuff that's been around and nobody it's not enforced. And nobody thinks about getting it off the books.
Yeah, well they do, but they just won't. Dude, Alabama, it's still illegal to have anal sex.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. but you can
Yeah,
marry your first.
they say in Virginia it's illegal to have any other sexual position besides missionary. So
That's fair.
it's
That's a good one.
Actually, I was thinking about the anal sex one, bro. I know in America you guys are hot on that, but but here in the UK we don't really go that way too often, bro.
UK people don't have butt sex.
Look, I'll just go
I'll
just go ahead and say it's not my. I'm not into it. It's not my thing.
That's where poo comes from.
Look, I read somewhere that 1 in 4 people have anal sex, and there's 5 of us here, and I know I don't, bro. So someone here.
I think we can guess.
I don't. Not me.
Well, anyway, let's swiftly move on. It says here, Illinois law prohibits men from doing what in public?
Anal sex.
No, not in Illinois. They're fine with that up there.
Yeah.
No. What in public?
only in Rockford.
Probably. Yeah. For doing what in public? I don't spitting.
No, having an erection.
Oh, I can.
That's a waste of a good erection if you can't do it in public.
I thought you could say I can see that. Can you?
Public.
You must be one of the guys that they put to enforce it. Then.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm allowed to have an erection in public. Now, what if it's hidden? That's what I'd like.
It sounds more like it's more frowned upon than illegal. You know.
Yeah.
What guy walks around public with a full rager? You know what I mean?
You'd be surprised. We have a lot of homeless people that have mental issues that do shit.
Yeah, and I look at them and masturbate.
Like, no, you just step right over them because you act like they're not people. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh wow, that got heavy real quick.
We had this conversation.
It was a joke.
No, about New York City, how there's such a huge homeless population, and you can't give out money, so you essentially have to walk around and not acknowledge that they even exist, or you're just going to get fucking swarmed. So it's, and my wife went, and she's very empathetic and very cares about people, so she had a really fucking hard time because there's such a massive homeless population. That's and I was like, you just have to pretend like they're just street fixtures. You just walk the fuck by.
Yeah, that's sadly that's true. I think it's not so bad here, but like you get to some of the bad places, like you just have to kind of.
I went to a holiday to Egypt once, and it's really. I don't even think they're homeless, but I think they just home in on tourists, but they are reluctant to take no for an answer. Yeah, so you really end up having to be a bit of a bastard, which is weird because you're on holiday. That's the last thing you want to be, but if you just say no, thank you. Yeah, that means yes to them. That means you're thinking about it to them.
Yeah. Like here in the States, there's a distinct difference between like East Coast homeless people like New York and West Coast like San Francisco, LA. Like the West Coast homeless people, they're way more aggressive as far as shit like that. The East Coast people, you just walk by and just act like they're there. West Coast people, you walk by, they're like, what the fuck?
They'll also tell you if you're like, I'm sorry, I don't carry cash on me. Then they're like, oh, I got Venmo, Cash App, whatever. And
I saw that in the UK. They stop you at lights to wash your car, and the same thing. I said, sir, I've got no change, and they bring out a little machine. They take cards.
No,
I believe it. You got a striving business going on there, mate.
It's a full business. They pay tax. They got super, benefits, RDOs. All the British trivia questions are pretty morbid.
Are you making them up then? Morbid. All right. Well, what you coming through, or should I ask another one?
Yeah, keep them going. I'll find some.
All right. In the US, every 12 seconds in the US, someone does what in a Holiday Inn? Every 12 seconds.
Probably every 12 seconds somebody dies or jerks off, one or the other.
Comes,
Well, closest. What do you say?
It's always like sex related, though.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. Well, close. They steal a towel, so I guess that could be related to the second option. But,
I don't steal towels over here. So
every 12 seconds, every 12 bloody seconds. Good God, how do they keep busy?
Yeah, I bring my own stuff to the hotel. I don't lay on top of their sheets or nothing like that. So,
all right.
What's the point of going to a hotel then if you have to bring? So every 12 seconds in the U.S., somebody steals a towel from a Holiday Inn,
Okay.
And T was saying he brings his own shit to a hotel. You don't sleep on their sheets, use their towels, or anything.
Oh, goddamn.
What's the point of going to a hotel? It's too much trouble.
Yeah. I get it, though. Like some hotels, like you walk in and you're like, this is kind of gross.
Yeah, well, whatever.
It is. It's like there have definitely been a lot
You're
of
already in there
here.
breathing it in. You might as well sleep
That's
on
true.
it.
Oh man.
Tom Segura made me really not want to, touch things in hotels, especially like the first thing I do is wipe off the remote because
Yeah,
when he
that
made
goes
that
without
joke,
saying.
Yeah,
he
that's a
made that
given. I
joke
think that's
about
everywhere.
wiping his ass on like the blinds and everything, like the curtains and shit like that. I was just like, yeah, never again. So I don't make direct contact with their living stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I will bare ass a public toilet seat. Like I don't give a
Do
fuck.
you take a shower in the hotel? A shower, T?
Yeah, I do, but I bring my own cleaning products.
Can you clean the shower before you take a shower?
Yeah, I treat it like it's mine, because they don't care. For all I know, they just run water.
It's true. I mean, that's probably what they do, but oh my God, I might as well drive home. I'm gonna do a shower or anything.
Oh, please.
I mean, you can clean it up for yourself, but you can leave it a mess, Not that I'm saying I do that, but some people do. So like,
I think
that's what
we've had this talk before, Joey, and I think I've said that on the whole, black people, and I'm going to say it directly, and I say on the whole because obviously you can't say for everyone, but I do think that black people are
about cleanliness and germs and stuff.
Hygiene, yeah.
Yes,
they're much more concerned about it than.
Well, we established that on the show you co-hosted with me that white people don't use washcloths.
Well, no, it was a question. It was just a question.
Well, but, okay. It was interesting because you said this question about that black people want to ask white people, and I said, "Is it about washcloths?" Before you ever said the question.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, that's a real thing. I mean, like, how often do you use a washcloth when you shower?
Oh, never.
Exactly.
So what do you use then?
Hold on a minute. How often, Andre and T, do you guys use a washcloth when you shower?
Every time.
Wait,
every time.
Hold on. Like
a wash rag, washcloth, whatever. Like, to wash your body with.
No, I use like a I don't know what they call
a loofah.
Josh is a loofah.
Yeah, like a loofah thing.
A loofah. Okay,
that's
even worse.
Who said even worse?
I use both.
Asking white people. So
it gets all the dead skin and shit off, right?
Yeah,
that's what the hot water.
Wait, hold up. What do you get? What? You two are the kind of guys who just do pits and groin, aren't you?
I'm a very hairy motherfucker, so it acts as its own built-in fucking
Pits
and groin.
Do you wash up as well instead of down?
No, not down.
Oh yeah. What needs to be washed aside from pits and groin? The soap then runs down the rest of your body, and then as far as the feet go, you're standing in this. No. I'm just joking about that. I'm just joking
well, okay. Do you guys take baths?
No.
All right.
Like when I'm on holidays and shit, I'll fuck around with a bath.
No. Yeah, if I'm in a garden tub, yeah,
I'll fuck around, but not to wash. Like I don't use it.
Oh no. See here at home, I've got a bath and a shower. So yeah, sometimes I'll use a bath. Is that so bad?
Together?
Sorry.
Is the bath and the shower one unit?
No.
A lot of times in the U.S., it's the same. I mean,
yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, in hotels, when I go hotels, I see that, but no. Here we got a shower cubicle downstairs and a bathroom upstairs.
Do you make yourself a bubble toupee when you're in the bath?
What's that?
What? A bubble? What's a bubble toupee? Oh, yeah, I worked it out.
To me, a bath is just like you're making a fucking dirty ass soup and you're just laying.
Hold on, would you go on like what do you guys call them, like hot tubs, like a spa bath?
But again, not to clean. I'll go to hot tub or like I'm not a bath person. I'm fine. I understand people want to soak in and whatever, but as far as like to go in to wash myself, because you're just washing yourself and just sitting in the fucking.
No, but the beauty of a bath, especially when I bath, I can have a bath. I can empty out all the water, fill it out again, and jump in again, and that's what I do.
Like if I was to like have a bath, I usually shower before it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is that weird?
I think it is.
Sorry.
No. So what's the idea of the bath then?
That's because the money bags over there.
All
just
right,
got all
to
the
chill.
In the world.
Are you not having a bath then? You're just lying in water. That's not, you're not having a bath.
Just chilling out, having a couple beers, I'll listen to some music.
I don't want to hear anything about our concern for the climate over here. You two bath and shower back to back over there.
Hold on. Is that a thing? Having a beer in the bath.
Yeah, you just chill out.
It is over here.
Jesus,
They're called shower beers over here.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
dude, like
I
having a
shower. I bath beer
taking a shower. Jesus, it's like fucking it's
It
fantastic.
is. Standing under the warm water, you got to hold you hold your beer so it doesn't
It's
get under
true.
the water. In it.
You guys don't have. You've never done a shower beer. You've never had a shower beer.
You been serious?
Shower beers are a thing. Yeah, when I'm getting ready to go out,
they wanted me up. I don't know.
It's called alcoholism, Andre.
Yeah, it's probably a problem. These guys are drinking. Hold up, Andre. Yeah. These two are drinking at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're questioning if they've had a beer in the shower. I do it all the time.
Good point. Okay, so but obviously the toilet that's a step too far. Yeah.
I ain't drink a beer on it. No, like
I'm just checking, man.
Is that across the board though?
Well, what's wrong with drinking a beer while you're if you're drinking a beer? Hold on a minute. If you're drinking a beer and you got to go to the bathroom, what's wrong? Hold on a minute. Is your toothbrush not sitting in the same bathroom?
No, ours are usually separate.
Yeah.
Really?
No, yeah, dude.
Not
the
here.
States are one of the few places that you have like.
Not here.
I didn't hear. What was his?
So do you flush with the toilet lid up?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sometimes sure, sometimes not.
Why? What do you mean?
That toilet lid is not sealing up anything.
It's leaking out, dude. Wait, hold on. Stop. You know when you're you're already sitting in it, so why would you not flush the toilet? So, it doesn't matter at that point. You're like you've pooped, and the only place for that poop air to go right is between your legs, straight into your face. Why would you shut the toilet lid? I'm just fucking unflushing. I'm getting out.
In the shower,
yeah. I have to admit, I don't normally put this lid down before I flush it either. I'm at home, so no, I don't do that. But I didn't understand what you said about the. I've got to get back to it about the drinking. Are we saying that yes, you do drink in the toilet while you're having the poo?
No, never in the toilet, but in the shower, right?
What about Joey?
Shower.
Joey and what did Joey say?
I'll have a drink. I don't give a shit. I think I look at it this way: if you eat ass, then it doesn't matter at that point.
Actually, that's another topic, and I'm not even sure I want to go there.
I'm just saying, if I lick my wife's asshole on a regular occurrence, then where I drink, it's my own asshole at that point. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter.
He's got a point.
He really does.
If you're gonna do it, do it.
If you're gonna kiss your dog in the mouth, it's like, why not, right?
Yeah, if you're already there.
Hold on a minute. I take offense to that. That sounded like a jab at white people.
What did he
I
say?
don't kiss the dog in the mouth, but if the dog kisses me in the mouth, that's different.
Oh dear. Semantics. Oh my god, semantics.
Yeah.
Nicholas just said shower beers are life changing. Nicholas?
Yeah. That's Nick's a buddy of ours.
He gets it. He knows where it's at.
Well,
shower beers, man. Shower beers.
Here's the
Try
thing.
it.
This is my opinion.
Like
washing my hands after I shit every time because I don't want to get pink eye, right? But I half the time won't piss after I wash my hands or won't wash my hands after I piss. I'm not pissing on my hands, and my dick is enclosed in a protective barrier all day because I'll scratch my head and won't immediately wash my hands. And I guarantee you, my head is dirtier than my dick by the end of the day.
Guarantee. You're talking 40 degrees, middle of summer. There's no way the top of your head's cleaner than your sweaty balls.
Yeah.
Encased in those.
I'm just saying, do you wash your hands every time you touch another object, like at work or wherever the fuck else, like out in public?
Right. Which is
that's
fair,
dirtier than your dick.
I don't know. For me, it's just a habit. I think if you think about it like that, you can kind of break it down. But if my dick touches my hands, I'm washing my hands.
Okay. If there's any piss splashback or something, wash my hands. I don't fucking care. Now again, going back door.
Your immune system must be fucking on point. Nothing is getting through that.
Well, like I said, I joke that my body runs on I have so many chemicals in my body at any given time. I just don't fucking care, man. So.
Steven, you don't cook for the family, do you?
Oh yeah, I wash my hands before I cook because then my germs might be going in other people's mouths. But I'm just saying, from a practical standpoint, the amount of like shit air and shit particles and other people's breath and germs you breathe anytime you're in any type of public setting, you're in your own house. It's probably 1,000 times cleaner. Again, if you actively know you're going to get like
now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we should just continue wearing masks forever.
I think it's really just like built the argument for like white people are grosser than you know what I mean?
Well, wait, 100%.
We're doing some nasty shit out there. I like how it started with a washcloth and it's now eating ass.
I'm just saying, if you really break it down in some of the things that we classify and compartmentalize because of habit or how we're taught to do shit, a lot of it doesn't make sense if you really kind of think through it. And then your immediate reaction is, oh, that's fucking gross. And then like, yeah, no, but you'll put your tongue in a butthole, but you won't drink a fucking beer in a toilet.
Hold up. Do you brush your teeth after you do the? Oh yeah. Yeah, but isn't that the same thing though, right? Like you're not going to be like, but you're not going to eat somebody's butt and then be like, no, fuck it, there's germs. Like I'll just walk around with some dank ass breath all day because like shit's going in my mouth anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of it's aftertaste and after smell.
Mercy.
No, it's like going down on a woman, right? Like in the moment, it's fucking fantastic, but you don't want to smell dried fucking vag juice on your beard all goddamn day. Like that shit has to whack us. In the moment, it's like, yeah, but then like an hour later, it's like, oh god, because dried vag is way different than fucking fresh vag. Always.
All right, Andre, Big T, how do you feel about this this situation? How soon after you go down on somebody do you wash your face? You both have got beards. That shit's got some hang time, brother. It'll get stuck in there.
Right.
It depends on
picking it out all day.
Depends on whether you're staying the night or not. Because if you're not, then you go home and you shower, like immediately. But if you're staying with that person or living with that person, then you can do that. Once you wake up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
you're not going to turn over.
There'd be nothing more offensive than like just finishing and be like
jumping up. Yeah, that can't work.
Fuck no, I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go wash my face every time.
Yeah,
you must really be going in then, man.
You're married to a woman, a little more understandable. So
we're really breaking through cultural barriers here, guys. I think we're doing the work. We're putting it in. But like, sorry, you go.
Go on. No, go for it.
No, I was just going to talk shit. So you go.
That's what we do. That's what we do, man. Keep going. That's what we do.
Andre, be careful with your response.
I was.
I know. It was very. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if you can see some of the looks I've seen Roxanne give Andre, it's just it tells 1,000 stories.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Is it worse? Is it worse when you end the stream, you're like, all right, guys, done, and then you just look over and there's like this piercing eyes straight at you, and it's like,
yeah. Sometimes I get asked certain questions.
Hold up. Andre, blink once if you're in trouble.
So that doesn't happen for me because my wife doesn't typically hear everything going on. But about 2 days after the show releases, I'll come home. What's going on? Seems like something's wrong. Well, if you,
do you know I just think it's funny. Yeah, like, fuck. Here we go.
Yeah.
Anytime a woman says to you, "I just think it's funny," 100% it's not funny.
Hey, get back in your car. Go for a drive. You just tell them to simmer down. Girls love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's funny. Like, simmer down. No.
Well, you say simmer down, but then you have to say simmer down, honey.
Yeah.
I value my teeth. I don't make those mistakes.
Another winner is like, are you getting close to your period? Because you seem really
tired. Steve living on the edge.
Or you get them every month. Get over it. That's a good
order. Can't you just hold it in? Jesus.
That's one of the worst things you could ever say is calm down.
Yeah. Don't tell me
You're
to calm
acting-
down.
You're acting crazy. You're acting crazy. You guys are all fucked after this, by the way. You're all
I've got about 3 more of these I want to ask, if that's all right.
I'm
fine.
Yeah. All right, this one here. It says, how many times does the average, yes, this is just trivia now. How many times does the average human poop in a day? Now, I asked that because the answer here, I was a little surprised.
Average should be once, though, right?
Well, that's what I thought.
Probably should be once or twice, but
it says here 3. Now I'm assuming that can't be right. That's what it says
it's
here.
average.
It's supposed to be after every meal.
I know it's supposed to be. That's that. I don't know anybody who does that.
Who here poops after every meal?
Exactly.
I poop while I'm eating.
So you just take anything into the bathroom with you. Is that
right? Does his best work in there.
Food, drinks, uncles.
Uncles.
All right. Another says here. How many rolls of toilet paper were each British soldier given in World War II?
Not enough.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm sure.
All
right. Well, the answer is it's not even rolls; it's sheets.
Yeah.
Oh, like 3 sheets a day or some shit like that.
Is it a day thing or is it
exactly?
Just like
no, it's not a day. I don't think. No, I don't. Is it a day thing?
I think they were given.
It just says how many were the rolls given in World War II, and that's. I don't think it was a day. I think. Oh. Well, the answer here it says that we were given 2 sheets.
What are you going to do with that?
2 sheets, not a day, just 2 sheets. But interestingly,
is it 5-ply?
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be double day. You got to separate it.
edit.
Wash it and hang it up. Like,
or your meal, like all that shit. But you'd have like a cigarette, like a few sheets of toilet paper, your food, all that was in like one ration kit. Like whenever you got that shit. So
all right. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, we got 2, but it says here apparently the Americans, you guys got 22.
Yeah, big shitters over there, though.
Oh, right.
They're the ones who got that average up to 3 a day.
The U.S. is the Texas of the rest of the world. Like everything's
we shit freedom.
That's right. Plus, I also do everything on the toilet. Remember,
we shit freedom, so the rest of you can have some too.
Thanks, guys.
Shining examples.
We do what we can.
Yeah. Iceland diverted their roads in order to avoid disturbing communities of what? And there's 3 options here: elves, fairies, sheep, foxes.
Elves.
Oh, elves.
Oh, for sure, elves.
Yeah.
Sure, elves.
How would you look?
Wouldn't it
Well, I thought it little. The answer's elves. The answer's elves.
Yeah, there's like little houses on the side of the road that you meant to leave stuff out there. Yeah.
Well.
You haven't seen Lord of the Rings?
New Zealand, man.
Whatever.
Well, I couldn't believe you guys got that, man. You guys, all right. What about this one?
I thought New Zealand was Eastern Australia, but okay, go ahead.
What was ancient contraception made from? And it's got 3 options.
Shit.
Well, hold on. That's one of them. Crocodile dung, a single bird's egg, rags soaked in urine.
Rags soaked in urine.
Yeah, I'd say that. Probably.
Much shit.
All right. Well, actually, I made up the other 2. It is crocodile dung.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry for ruining that. I just
because women want crocodile skin everything. That's why. Shoes.
Yeah. No, that's
good.
There's a Chuck Palahniuk book that the guy says if you piss inside a girl after you have sex, like she won't get pregnant. And like the guy, it's in a book. Yeah. Anyway.
It's in a book. What book's that in? It's in a book.
It's a Palahniuk novel. Chuck, and I always say his last name wrong, but Chuck Palahniuk. It's one of his books that like the guy.
He's the guy that wrote Fight Club. Right?
Yeah, the guy who wrote Fight Club and all that shit. But he thinks that if you one of the characters, if you piss inside a woman, like just a little bit, just pee a little bit, like it keeps her from getting pregnant. And in the story, like he starts peeing and can't stop and just like floods this lady with fucking piss. But anyway, continue.
Do the Drake and hit him with some hot sauce. Bam, bitch. You stupid fucker. Like I was talking about the shit thing. Like, who's the first guy to do that? Like he's just raw dogging it, and he's like,
well, it's crocodile, so you guarantee it's an Australian.
He's like, I'm gonna rub some shit on my dick first.
Maybe Maybe they went anal first and then went vag.
Yeah.
And that's where that came from.
Never go back to front.
A lizard and then went over. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's something. You got any more, André? These are actually pretty good.
I've got more if you want more.
Yeah, keep them coming. I reckon they're sick.
All right, this one is not. What city has the largest Greek population outside of Greece and Cyprus? And I've got three options here.
Sydney. Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
well,
go on.
actually, these options are London, Melbourne, or New York.
I'm going to say
New York.
Ooh.
Sorry?
New
I'm
York.
going to say Melbourne. Yeah, I'll straight
What
pride.
do you guys say? Joey?
New York.
I would have said New Jersey, but yeah, I'll go.
See,
New
so,
York.
well, the answer is Melbourne.
Okay.
Oh, Melbourne.
I thought it would have been Sydney, but yeah.
No, I said
Like-
Melbourne. All right, I've got a couple, just two more. Yeah, this one. What is the title of the invisible artwork that the American actor James Franco? I think James Franco. He was in some of them Spider-Man movies. Anyway, what's the title of the invisible artwork that the American actor James Franco sold, and how much did he sell it for? So it's just a frame with nothing in, and he sold it. He gave it a name and he sold it. So the question is name.
I have no
and
idea.
how much. The name is, he called it Fresh Air,
Okay.
and the price for a frame with nothing in it.
65,000.
I'm going
Nah,
to say
not that crazy, not that
1.6
crazy.
mil.
No, 10,000. So someone bought.
That is some Franco bullshit though.
Mhm.
Those pretentious-
Who
Yeah.
was the dumbass that bought it? That's what
I
I
don't know.
want
She,
to know.
they said it's a woman, but I didn't know who she was. She then went into a whole spiel, or they did, because they didn't just sell it. It was all about this. You're getting this fresh air, and it's that's exactly what it is. It's yours, and you can move it here. They really sort of sold it verbally, and she bought into it. But
She was
it
probably on her period.
Jesus.
Big T just shaking his head.
You know what? I sent an invite out to quite a few people, and everyone I sent it out to was blokes, no women. And now I can see exactly why.
Good call.
Good
Yeah.
call.
That's a good.
All right, last question.
You did them
What-
a service.
Yeah.
What is composed of 59% nitrogen, 21% hydrogen, and 9% dioxide?
Semen.
59%. Was that?
It's a semen.
Semen.
Has to be semen.
No, it's a fart.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. He said it's nice.
I feel
Right, well,
like the
that's-
writers of Beavis and Butthead came up with these questions.
Trivia. They're trivia. Look at
Trivia's not bad.
Good trivia.
Oh,
shit.
God.
You guys could take that to the pub and use those.
Very good. Very good.
We'll take
Probably
that
good.
bar.
Yeah.
We'll take
I
it
was
to
a
the
pub
bar.
goer. Yeah, probably
Pubs
good.
are better, but
I agree.
I don't
Right.
go in public, so you know.
Do you guys, yeah, I thought that was like a weird terminology there, right? Like, do you guys have pubs though, right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we have some places.
We have some
that,
pubs, but they're just pretending to be actual
Yeah.
like pubs. They're still just shit bars.
It's
with places
one
to
where
sit.
the owners and the regular patrons are like, I don't do American bars. I like European pubs.
Yeah, because basically
What's-
what you have now here is you have bars, and then you have Irish bars, and you
Right.
have pubs, and the pubs are modeled after British pubs, and the Irish bars are just places where they have a lot of Irish whiskey. Like that's basically the delineation here. It's stupid.
Yeah.
What's the
yeah.
difference? Like,
Yeah.
what distinguishes a pub from a bar?
Happiness.
No, I don't know 100%, but I know like I don't know. It felt like a pub is a little more. Each little area is a little more quaint, a little more. Almost like separate nooks inside a pub, rather than where in a bar in the U.S. it's just very open. It's
Okay.
and I may be wrong. That's just the feeling I get from what I've seen. And
Well, yeah. Normally, in a bar, you've got the bar, of course. So you've got people who will hang around the bar and they'll order their drinks, but you also have tables. And as you said, each table is your own little area where you might be anything from 2, 3, 4, 5 people will gather around and chat amongst themselves. So and you don't normally have. Do you guys have music playing in your?
yeah.
All right, yeah. So
Yeah,
normally in a
most
pub,
do.
no. I guess no. You might have music playing in the pub these days, especially if it's in London. But
it would be probably a little more quiet in a
yeah,
pub though.
exactly. It has to be.
Yeah.
The whole idea of a pub really, it's for older people, so they're not really looking to have a party. They're really looking to have a drink. So the main thing is the drink and to have a chat.
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
Right.
And that's the thing.
In Australia, it's like pubs and bars are only like different in terms of quality, right? So bars are just nice pubs, and pubs are shitholes. You know what I mean? It's just the quality of the service and stuff gets a little bit lower. So it's like if you want to go and just have a messy afternoon, you go to a pub. But if you want to, like, you still get food, you still get like whatever. But if you want to go like dress up a little bit, you'll go to a bar.
Yeah. See, there'll be lots. In fact, there'll be lots of pubs, especially more local pubs that won't even do food. They're literally just water.
So here in Australia, they have to legally serve food at a bar, or like anywhere that sells alcohol has to sell food.
Why is that?
Because we're fucking stupid and we'll just drink.
All right. Okay. So does that mean if I went to a pub over there, would I have to buy the food?
You don't have to buy the food, but they have to provide. So here, the two things they have to provide here, so like access to food and free drinking water.
Okay, that's what that's with Tennessee a lot. Except now, let me ask you a question. And I'm thinking I know the answer to this, but do you guys still have any indoor smoking bars at all where you can smoke inside?
No, none.
Come on,
doesn't exist. I think they're completely phasing it out.
That's what I was just asking, because like in Tennessee, you can have smoking in a bar if you do not serve food, and it's only an over 21 establishment.
No, you can serve food, but it has to be a 21 and over establishment.
Right.
Like Fred's Pub, you can smoke downstairs, and they serve food.
Oh, that's right, they do.
It's it has to be 21 and up only.
Yeah.
Here they're completely phasing it out. I think we'll follow suit of New Zealand, how they'll just set an age limit.
Yeah,
you know how they're like anybody born.
I heard that they're going to continue to raise the age limit until eventually they get to the point where no one that's living in New Zealand is old enough to smoke.
Yeah. So they've said it. It's like, so if you're born from like this point on, like you can't buy them at all. So it'll eventually just fade it out. And I think we'll be heading the same direction. I think.
Yeah, you laughed, but to my mind, that probably makes sense. Am I not the only one who thinks so?
What makes sense?
To what? Having to be 40 before you can smoke?
No. So the thing is like, it's not the age limit of people who can buy it. There's like an age cutoff.
Right.
So it's like if anybody born past 2020 can't buy smokes, right?
So that is what will happen. So what will happen is the age will rise every year. The age that you have to be to buy cigarettes will raise every year. That's what that means.
Which I think is insane.
Yeah,
but still.
But the whole idea of that is actually to phase out cigarettes. Don't you think it's insane that on the one hand, the government is telling you how bad cigarettes are? It's so bad that we don't want you smoking them anywhere in public or anything like that. And on the other hand, they're making money from it. Isn't that insane?
Yes.
No, well, I mean, it is, but I think the regulations kind of like they don't ban fucking alcohol. I mean, it's
why is weed not legal? Like, it is somewhere in the States,
right?
But you can drink booze, right?
Yeah,
like, that
it's the
make
same thing. Like, why can't to regulate fucking somebody's choice whether they can or can't smoke or drink or anything like this? Fucking insane. That shit's like people have had the right to like hurt themselves with foreign substances since the beginning of time, and to take that shit away. And I get regulation. I get like making sure people are old enough, and there's all kinds of nuances to it. But to outlaw it like specifically and for everyone, it completely takes your choice away to be stupid. It's I don't like it because I don't know.
Yeah,
I
can definitely understand why people don't like it, but I don't know. I think from what I gather, if it's really as bad as they say it is, and it is as carcinogenic, the only people who will suffer are people like us who grew up smoking. But in the long run, kids that are growing up, if they get to a scenario where there is no cigarettes, well, I don't know if they'll ever get to that scenario where it's not easily or readily available, then I'm assuming that's literally saving lives.
Right, but my point is like, where do you draw the line on harmful substances to ban? Do you start banning caffeine? Do you start banning alcohol? Do you start banning I don't know. Fuck. What else? Like you
Sugar.
sugar,
sugars, carbs, all that shit.
Yeah,
Hey,
I hear that. I hear that.
You
Carbs
start
are-
requiring
carbs are
everyone
good,
to go
bro.
only like food you can grow, like vegan only and only made laboratory, so it doesn't affect the environment. Like there's so many layers. Like where do you fucking stop it? Because everything is bad for you if you have too much of it, right? I mean, we can all agree that smoking is particularly bad for you because whatever. Like there's even weed though. Like if you smoke it, it's still fucking shit for your lungs. It's it's a huge carcinogen. Like anytime, like ban fucking campfires, you're inhaling goddamn smoking carcinogens when you're
Barbies. I hear Barbies are meant to be pretty bad for you, Josh.
Hey, don't talk shit about barbecues.
I don't want to get heavy on that shit. I'm just saying it drives me fucking crazy when
you guys can't come here if you talk shit about barbecues.
But no, I heard that they're saying that they're carcinogenic with the coal and everything. That they're carcinogenic.
Next thing you know, they're gonna ban eating ass, and I fucking
that's right.
stop there. Yeah,
Australians will die before they get rid of barbecues.
My stance is drugs should be legal if you're a certain age, as long as you're not endangering anyone else. Why not?
Yeah, you said that on one of our shows.
Whatever. I'm 41 years old. Why shouldn't I be allowed to do any substance in my own house that doesn't endanger anyone else?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I?
Just do a little bit of crack, clean your hands.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I should be allowed to.
I guess the problem is that if you don't die, then I don't know about in the US, but here in the UK, if you fall ill or whatever, you get rushed to the hospital, and then it's taxpayers and their money that have to look after you in hospital. I'm not quite sure.
Right.
No.
I understand that, but I have my own insurance as well, so the taxpayers aren't out on that one.
Right, I don't know how it works in this.
There's a country in Europe somewhere that's legalized the whole thing, right? But it's like because it's like pharmaceutical grade and it's not cut with other shit. And most of the like the injectables you have to go to injecting rooms.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. A lot of places have like areas they have some sobriety centers, and then they also have like safe areas to go and shoot up and do that. And they're
pill
like
testing. They do.
Like fucking
well, that's
crazy.
what I'm saying. It's just like prostitution. Yeah. Once you legalize it, it becomes actually it's not as a dark an industry as it once was because it's regulated more.
Yeah, it's regulated and it's safe.
Yeah,
right. Well, that's the whole thing. And again, fucking never mind. I'm not gonna go down that road. I would have gone serious. I don't want
to. Crack is so retro. Like, how do you get hooked on that
all the
shit
hipsters are doing it
like,
now.
Retro? How'd you what?
Yeah, it was groovy back in the day.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that was like big in like the 80s and a little bit in the early 90s. Like, it kind of got outshined by other stuff, but I don't see how it still exists. Like, apparently the underground industry is booming if people still, get hooked on it to these days. But I'm just like, who is this 76-year-old man that's out here still selling crack? It's like,
yeah, it's just an old dude.
What's crazy? I mean, I didn't know this one, but like the crack high is only like fucking 20 minutes. Like it's got such a short half-life, but it's supposed to be like a fucking crazy thing.
Best 20 minutes of your life.
Your life.
Yeah. And then sadness.
Yeah, for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's right.
Anything that makes you want to suck dick to get
well, that's
more
what I was going to say. The problem with the 20-minute high of crack is that you smoke your crack and then you got the 20-minute high spent sucking the dick for the guy that just gave you the crack. So I mean,
no, that's after the come down. It's after
that's
you suck dick so you can get high again.
If I'm a dealer, that's how I'm making more money.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
You see people like they're sucking dick for mushrooms or weed.
Exactly.
No, it's just not public. It happens all the time.
Damn it, man.
I mean, some people just sucked it because they're bored, though, in all fairness. So.
Big T, what do you know that we don't? Like, where are you hanging around? All those crack dealers, people sucking dick for weed.
I can learn from his years as a massage therapist.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hey, you just gotta pay attention to your environment. You'll learn all types of things,
Play a game called Find the Crack.
In my crack.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
Well,
boys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. It's 1:30 in the morning.
That's what we were
fine.
about to say. Like, I know it's after 1 for you and whatnot. So yeah, that's fine. This is fun. We'll set it up again in a couple of months. And
as always,
do we have Big T on the WhatsApp? Are we gonna add him?
We can add him into that.
We'll do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep. All right, fellas. Well, thanks for a good time as always.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the invite, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hang tight for just a second, but we're going to go ahead and end it now. And next week, as of right now, it's just for those of us that are watching because of Steven and I. It's just Steven and I. I don't know.
Yeah. If you're watching for them, just
I was going to say, so Andre and T and myself will be next Sunday afternoon, evening, depending on where you're at, doing something for the weekend.
Yep.
That's always fun. And, Josh will be tying another one on next week and living his best life. So.
Bringing his sadness away.
Yeah.
All right.
So
we'll see you guys next time.
Yep.
All right, guys.